Good morning, everybody. Got a background, something in the background. Somebody's got me on a phone and on a what you call it. You got to turn one of them down. So it's having a feedback. Anyway, good morning, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with the RBBS, the Distance Learning Center, and the National Dispatchers Network. Today, we are having a kind of a special broadcast with our 6 Figures Looking Free from Home show, and we have a guest host, Mr. Jose Molinar of UC Factors. As you all know, we have spent the last couple of weeks talking about new things that we could do within the industry, especially to help the dispatching side of it and the broker side. Ms. Mola, we want to thank you for joining us. And before we get started, you might want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you having me on, Calvin. I appreciate it. Good morning to all the dispatchers on here. As Calvin mentioned, I've kind of been trying to work something out with Calvin and RBBS to be able to come on. And towards the end of last year, I had the idea of reaching out to Calvin so that I could be a part of a Saturday training, because interesting enough, I have experience as a freight agent through obviously working for a freight broker, and Calvin was one of the many, but one of the ones that I really stuck to on how to move freight and how to source your shippers, how to source carriers. So I've been watching Calvin's YouTube channel for a few years now. So it just makes sense when I switched over to factoring to reach out to Calvin and see if I could be a part of the RBBS network, create what is hopefully going to be something huge in an affiliate type of style, where all our dispatchers or all you guys are able to refer your carriers over to us and receive referral fees. And once I get to the PowerPoint, I'm going to show you something pretty interesting that we actually worked out this week. We developed something within our own platform to be able to help you guys out. So I appreciate your time, Calvin, and I appreciate all you guys on here, giving me some time on your training.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. I'll be honest with you. I did not know you were a fan of our broadcast. I really did. But that's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that people are taking notice, and we think that's a good thing. Before we get started with that, now you all know that we have been harping on several things that Mr. Moeller is going to touch on. One of the ones is looking for other avenues to generate revenue. And they do have an interesting way of generating, of helping you all to make that happen. And he's going to discuss that along with some other things. So if I can go ahead and get everything turned over to him and let him take over, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and
started.
I'm going to go ahead.
You had somebody talking about.
All right.
What?
People introduce themselves and somebody was talking.
Hello. If you're in the background, turn your mics off. Thank you. All right. If you're in the background, please turn your mics off if you're having conversations outside of this platform. We appreciate it. All right. As I was saying before, let me go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Mola. I think you have sharing credentials right now, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Yeah, let me know. I'm going to kind of go around through browser to browser and let me know if you see the screens here that I'm just opening up.
Yeah, we see it. I see it. Does everyone else see it?
Yes.
Yep. All right, great.
All right. So again, thanks for having me on here, guys. I appreciate it. So I put together a quick PowerPoint to get the dispatcher referral program kind of in front of you guys, for something for you guys to strongly consider, because this is a great way, as Calvin was mentioning, to supplement your income on top of what you got going on, right? So we here at the company that I work for is UC Factors. what I'm going to present to you guys is the dispatcher referral program. And my official title with UC Factors is Business Development Manager. So I'm gonna get into a little bit of the history real quick of UC Factors and break down a little bit about myself. But who is UC Factors? We are an invoice factoring company located in Glendora, California, which if you guys are familiar with Southern California, especially the Los Angeles County, we're about 30 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. And what we do is we specialize in factoring for the logistics industry since 1975. So we have a pretty hardcore specialization in logistics, not only on the carrier side, but we do help out freight brokers, and now integrating dispatchers into what we got going on, is a great way to add value to the logistics industry. And I hope that through this presentation, I could bring some value to Calvin, to you dispatchers, to the whole RBBS network. So that's my goal here. A little bit about myself. I've been with the company going on a year now, and my background is in sales. I've worked for a couple large companies, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I did sales for them for a few years and also worked in the freight brokerage industry as a freight agent. So my background is in sales, sourcing customers, sales calls, the whole bit. So that's a little bit about me and UC Factors. Now, for those of you who don't know what invoice factoring is, I'll break it down for you, but I'm sure all you guys know. So invoice factoring, it's very simple. So invoice factoring is when a business, in this case, your carrier, sells its accounts receivable, the invoices to a third party. The third party would be a factoring company. So in this case, it would be us, UC Factors at a discount. So just to make the numbers very simple, let's say you source a load for a carrier that pays $1,000. And let's say your carrier qualifies for a 2% rate. When he sells over the invoice to us, he's going to sell it at $980. Okay, so we're going to give him $980. Now, when the shipper or the broker pays that invoice, that when the load got delivered, they get their BOL, they get their Raycon. Once they receive all the billing paperwork and they're ready to pay, they're going to pay us directly the $1,000. So we get to keep the difference, the $20, the 2%. So that's how we make our money in factoring, and that's what the whole process looks like, kind of top to bottom. Obviously, there's a lot of other details in between, but very basic. That's what it is for you guys who may not know. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys do. So moving on to the next slide, what can we do for your carriers? Obviously, this is going to be something that you guys are going to position to your carriers, because you guys will be receiving referral fees from UC Factors for any client that you refer over and we fund, right? So what exactly do we do for your carriers? So through factoring, your carriers will get cash flow they need to pay for business expenses, fuel, insurance, truck payments. You know that your carriers need money to keep that truck moving. And if they don't keep that truck moving, they can't make money. So they need cash flow. Most trucking companies find a need for factoring either as they're starting or as they're growing, starting to add more carriers or more trucks. Maybe they may purchase more trucks, or if they're leasing on other carriers, they're going to find a need for factoring at some point. So this is a great way for everybody to help each other out. So that's what we do for your carriers. Now, I'll get into the specifics about rates and advances and all that stuff towards the end of the presentation here. But at face value, that's what we do for your carriers. Now, you're probably asking, well, what can you do for me, right? So what can we do for you? Well, we provide referral fees starting at $200 and can go up to $1,500 for funded accounts. Now, I put funded accounts in parentheses because it's very important to make that distinction. Now, you can refer someone over and we could sign them up and send a contract out, but unless we purchase invoices from them, unfortunately, there's no money that, we would be able to send out to you. right? It's just like for you guys, when you get someone on a dispatcher agreement, you could get 10 carriers on a dispatcher agreement, but if you don't source freight for them, you're not going to get paid. So the same way for us, we would need to actually sign them up and purchase Invoice, at least one, for you guys to be eligible for your $200 referral fee, no less than $200 up to $1,500. Now you're probably asking, man, that's a big gap. Like, what's the difference? Well, the bigger the carrier, the closer you're going to get to $1,500. And we could talk more about specifics on how it breaks down and all that stuff. But at face value, that's what you can rely on. $200 referral fee up to $1,500 for funded accounts. Now, this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to create, if you become a part of our dispatcher referral program, okay, and you sign up, you want to be a part of it, we will get you a personalized affiliate link. So you'll be able, excuse me, sorry about that. You'll be able to have a personalized affiliate link that we create for you for referral fee tracking. Because you're probably like, well, how is it that you're gonna know it's from me? Well, through that affiliate link. And this affiliate link, you could share it on your YouTube channel if you got YouTube. I'll show you an example from a carrier that's actually within the RBBS network. His name's Damien with DZR. I hope he's on the call. And I'm going to show you a great example of what he did with his affiliate link and how he has it all set up. Okay. So this affiliate link is going to be individualized. It's going to be just for you. And that's how we track referrals. But you could share this affiliate link through text message, email, YouTube channels, Instagram, whatever you're on, Facebook. And not only the carriers that you're trying to source can use the affiliate link, but we factor every business that is factorable. So manufacturers, distributors, the staffing companies, if you know a staffing business owner, any business that is factorable, you could send them that link. And if they sign up with us and we fund their accounts, you will be eligible for the referral fee. You will get your referral fee. So we've sent out a couple just this year, just recently, using our affiliate method. So, I promise you that, that we'll be able to track it. You guys will I'll make sure that you guys have your proper tracking and you guys get those funds to you. Now, how does that all look? So the affiliate link is going to come with access to a UC Factors landing page. So you don't even need to create a landing page. We already got that for you. Okay, we set it up. So you guys said you could see my screen. So I'm going to switch out of here and I'm going to show you this. So this is Damien's website, DZR Logistics. So it's a website here for him to send its carriers to get signups and all that whole bit. But up here in the links, you could see factoring, right? Now, when I click this link, this is my goal for all you guys. And even if you don't have a website, like I said, you could share the link through email, through your Instagram, Facebook, however you like. But if you have a website, this will be the end goal. Put the URL and the link on your actual homepage. So when carriers click it, okay, they're going to go to this landing page. This is the landing page that we created for you guys, specifically for you guys, okay? So when you provide this affiliate link to your carriers, that's all you're doing. You don't need to send me over their company name, their email, their phone number, their first and last name. They filled this in for you. So all you're doing is just copying and pasting your affiliate link. So if you can see here, I'm going to highlight it, DZR Logistics Transport. That's his affiliate link. He's linked up to it already. So that's how we are going to track it. And you can see here, it's specific. It's going to be your company name, or if you want a special code, we could do that for you. But this is how it would look. And obviously your carriers are going to be, want to know what are you referring me to? So we're UC Factors out of Southern California. This is our website, but our rates are pretty competitive. They can be as low as 1%. Advances can be up to 95%. We don't do any personal credit checks for approval. Our funding is within the same day, no monthly minimums, and your carrier gets to factor whatever invoices they want. We don't force them, to factor every single invoice, unlike some other factors may. We don't do that. We're very flexible, and we specialize in the logistics industry, mainly on the carrier side. Okay, so this is some other stuff that we offer. You know, this is kind of more technical, but the main thing here too is same day release of the reserve. So whenever we get paid by their shipper or their broker, we're giving them that money that same day. We're not holding it for 2 weeks. We're not holding it for a month. You may hear some carriers be like, man, my factoring company, they don't give me the rest of my money until 2 weeks, until a month. We don't do that. We give it to them the same day. So you can see here, this is what you can refer to. I'm not, saying you have to be an expert, but if you could just hit these bullet points here when you're explaining to your carrier why they should, take you up on signing up with UC Factors, well, this is it right here. And this is what you would do, okay? And the perfect example is Damien. Damien has it all set up. He has his factoring links directly to the landing page. They put in their info, your referral puts in their info. I do speak Spanish, so if you have any carriers that are Spanish speaking, refer them over. I can talk to them in Spanish as well. And they would hit submit, and then it goes to my email inbox, and then I take it from there. So that's what I can do for you guys, okay? Another interesting thing is, I'll get out of here. Another interesting thing will be the dispatcher payment options, okay? So I would imagine that you guys have had some hard time trying to collect from your carriers, okay? And trying to hound them, well, not hound them, but trying to track them down for payment. People are busy, sometimes they forget. Or you may have that guy who just, doesn't do his paperwork and doesn't send you payment. You don't have to worry about that moving forward, okay? If you're an affiliate with UC Factors and you're sourcing freight for a client of ours, we will pay you directly, okay? We integrated this method just this week after the conversation that I had with Calvin. I got off the phone and I was like, what can we do to help out carriers so that they don't have to chase down their, their clients for payments? So the way that we did it was, if you refer over someone and we sign them up as a client, they're going to sign this dispatcher pay options, okay? Obviously, it's from us, UC Factors, but this info here is going to be your referrals information, okay? Our prospect, our client's information. The dispatcher's pay percent, that's what you guys agree on. If it's 5%, 8%, 10%, whatever it is, they'll put it here. They'll mark it here, okay? And then you guys will fill out this bottom part for dispatcher to fill out. You guys will get either a check via US mail, which is no fee, or an ACH fee, which is $5. Now, I wish I could waive this $5 fee, but it's a bank fee and I can't waive it. But $5, I would imagine, is a small price to pay so that you guys don't have to worry about, shoot, am I going to get paid this week from, John's trucking for the freight that I dispatch for him? And is it going to be my payment in full? Or Jose's, logistics, all right, am I going to get paid from this guy this week? $5 is a small price to pay so you guys don't have to chase down these carriers anymore. So that's what we can do for you. Your information will go on here, your account number, your routing number, your bank info, all this information is going to be you guys. So now we have you on file. So when your carrier sells over their invoices to us, they'll mark if it's a dispatch load or a non-dispatch load. If it's a dispatch load, we know to pay you, okay? We know to pay your account, your name, because they're going to be marked in our system to do so. So I'll take a few questions, but just to kind of wrap this up on my side, how do you get to the referral to the enrollment program? Okay, so let's see. Oh, that's me right there. In case you wanted to put a face to the voice, that's how I look. That's my email. This is UC Factors. That's my direct manager. Me and her worked out this program this week. So, we kind of put this together last minute, but I hope, we can make the best of it. So that's me. And this is the link, ucfactors.com/dispatcher referral program. that's the link that I have over here. Okay. So I know I'm bouncing back and forth on screens, but I'll sit still in a minute. You could do it one of two ways. You could write down this link, or you can write down my email to email me, and then I'll send you the link. But because this is not on our website yet, we haven't put it up on our website just because it's so brand new. But this link here will take you to our dispatcher factoring referral program. And then what you would do is, this is the same info as our landing page, and it's a breakdown of what I just said. Okay. Now, when you hit enroll, it'll take you to the dispatcher referral enrollment form. Okay. This is where you'll put your information, and you'll send it over to me so that I know to jump on a phone call with you to see, if you have any other questions, if you wanted to sign up, or if you wanted to think about it, but you had questions before you did, you'll fill out this dispatcher enrollment form, and then we'll jump on a quick phone call, kind of get out some more details. And then if we decide to move forward with each other, I'll go ahead and start creating your link. Excuse me, I'll create your link, and then you'll be set up just like Damien was. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint. You could write down the link and it'll take you there. It's not on our website yet, so you would have to write it in, or you could email me. That's my email. J as in Juliet, Molinar at ucfactors.com. You could email me, then I'll reply with the link, and then you can enroll, and then we could schedule a phone call conversation. So
Jose.
Yeah.
Also copy that link, and you can send it out through a message right now to everyone that's plugged in.
Right. Yeah, through the chat, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me do that. Let's see, chat. All right, there we go.
There it is.
I also put in my email. Yeah, so that's my email. It came up together. Let me do it one more time. Or can you guys see it? Is it separated?
Nah, no, it's not separated. Put them both up at the same time.
Okay.
That would be good. There we go.
There it is. I'll just put the link for now. Yeah, so I mean, I'm ready for any questions that you guys got. So, feel free to ask.
I have a question. So if the carrier that you sign up with or the carrier that you refer to UC Factors, they start using a different dispatcher, but they're still using your factoring service, will you still get money will you still get paid for the referral?
Yes, so it'll work out this way. So when you refer over the carrier to us and we sign them up and we buy an invoice from them, we will automatically send you out that no less than $200 referral fee. So that is a one-time fee that you will get. Okay, so that will still go out to you once we buy their first invoice and you refer them over to us. Now, if in a month or two they move on to a different dispatcher, then that dispatcher won't have the option to have them as a referral, obviously, because we already have them as a client. So yes, to answer your question, you'll still receive your referral fee. As long as we purchase an invoice from them, you're eligible for that referral fee, and it's a one-time fee that we send out to you. So if they start using another dispatcher, you don't have to worry about it. You still got paid. And those referral fees, I should mention, it'll take up to 30 days from the day that we've purchased the first invoice, okay? So it's not instant, it's not immediate. I'll try to do my best to work that time down, but trust me, we do send out our referral fees. I could give you client testimonials. We stand by our word, okay? So if we fund a client of yours, a referral of yours, you will be eligible for that referral fee.
Okay. And then you mentioned that the size of the carrier is what depends on how much you get for the referral. So what if you sign up a lot of small carriers? So let's say you sign up 10 carriers instead of one big carrier. Will that increase your referral amount, or will you have to find one big carrier in order for your referral amount to go up.
No. Like, so what I meant was, like, for example, if you want to, let's say you refer over 10 individual one truck carriers, then you'll get $2,000, right? Because
Okay.
it's 10 times 200, you'll get $2,000. Now, if you refer over a carrier, right, that has 25 trucks and they're doing $300,000 a month in invoices, now that's when you hit like 1,500 for sure, you know. And we
Gotcha.
might send you over like an Amazon gift card or something just to show appreciation that you thought about us.
Hmm.
So,
And then from that
you
point
know,
on, you'll get 1,500 per carrier, or will it just be only 1,500 when it's a big carrier?
yeah, so it's individual, so it won't be
Okay.
1,500 per carrier. So it'll
Gotcha.
go back down. Like, say if you refer another one truck carrier, it'll go back down to 200.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So how does that break down? So it's 200 to 1,500. So let's say it's a carrier with 5 trucks.
Hmm.
Then what will the referral
Well, 5 trucks, it's on a sliding scale. So really, it just depends on how much they're committed to doing on a per month basis. Because, excuse me, some carriers, excuse me, it just depends. Like, if they're all local guys and they're 5 trucks, but they're doing, say, Los Angeles out to San Bernardino, which is, like 100 miles east of downtown, that obviously it's 5 trucks, but their invoices are not going to be that large. So
right?
it really depends on the volume of freight sales of actual invoices that they submit to us.
Yeah, think of it like this.
And we can work out those specific details, because to tell you the truth, it's on a sliding. Go ahead.
Yeah, think of it and
Go
think
ahead,
of it
Calvin.
think of it like this. Okay, for every contract you send in, think of it as a contract. Don't think of it as per the number of trucks. Think of it as a contract. If your contract only has 1 truck in it, you are pretty much guaranteed $200, right?
Right.
Now, if the contract has 3 trucks, but they're doing $400,000 in business, you're gonna get what? So it's really not the number of trucks, it's
1,500.
how big the
Right. That's what
contract
I'm
is.
asking, because if he's saying that we get paid when we refer the carrier, then are you saying that we won't get the money until you justify how big their revenue is, or are we just going to get paid when we refer the carrier? And then if
Yeah.
that's the
So
case, then what's the scale? How do you judge that? Like, what's the formula? What's the breakdown?
well, I could get into the breakdown for you once you submit the enrollment form, and then we could go over those specific details. But for presentation purposes, I put the minimums and the maximums of what we offer. But just how Calvin was mentioning, what it means is like on a per contract basis. So in other words, if you have 10 trucks, but they only do say 50,000 a month because they're local guys, then that's going to be closer to the 200, right? But if you got 8 trucks and they're doing $250,000-$300,000 a month, now you're hitting the $1,500, right? So it just really depends on the amount of freight, like volume that they actually sell over to us, because you could do one load and the load could be, it's an LTL load and it only pays $300-$400. But you could do one load from California up to Massachusetts, and that, during produce season, it could pay up to $10,000, right? And it's still one trip. So it's that same concept, but we could iron out the details, and I could give you more details on a separate call.
And if I'm not mistaken, when the carriers first sign up, don't you all get like a history of what they've been doing?
Correct. Yeah. So during my sales process, what I'll do is I'll actually ask them. I'll share my screen here. I'll pull up this lead sheet, right? And it'll tell me right here, sales volume. So I can I need that sales volume to be able to tell them what rate they qualify for, what advances they qualify for. So I'll know that going in so that I could quote them appropriately. So they'll be able to tell me, and if anything, I'll be able to say, well, what did you do last month? And they'll know. So then I could appropriately quote their account, I guess you could say.
Let me ask you a question. Okay.
Yep.
Now, right now we're talking about when you refer someone and you get a one-time payment, right? For your commission. Okay.
Correct.
Do y'all have any type of products that pays residuals?
Can you repeat that? You broke up.
Do you have any type of products that pays residuals? Say, for instance, if someone come in and they did an equipment financing, and they, got an equipment financing through you all or through some of your connections. Let's say it was $300,000 or $400,000 or $1 million or whatever the case may be, and they're making monthly payments on that. Is there some type of residual tied to that for the referral?
We personally, here at UC Factors, we don't offer lending. We're just a straight factoring company. But within my network, I do have access to asset-based lenders, to lenders who provide business loans, business lines of credit. So if it's a referral from you, then yes, you will receive commission, but that's between really you, the referral source and the actual lending company. But to answer your question on do we personally offer residuals, we do. We offer a broker program that's not just the dispatcher program. So I have that up for you as well. Now, you could see my screen here. This is the broker partnerships, where you can act as an independent contractor and earn 10% of commissions for any account provided by you, meaning the referral source, for the life of the account. So that's a residual way for you to earn income here. And you're like, well, Jose, why didn't you tell me about this? Well, I'm telling you about it now, but also two, I mentioned this because let's go back to our example. Let's say the carrier is you source a $1,000 load for the carrier, right? And their fee is 2%. Okay, so that's $20 that we get. You would get 10% of $20. Okay, so you would get $2 for that load. Now, obviously, they can do more a month, and typically they do. But sometimes what we see is that these carriers can fall off the face of the earth and be like, hey, I'm not factoring, or I'm out of business for whatever reason, or, working on my own is too hard. I want to lease. I don't want to deal with, the headache of being an owner operator. I'm going to go back to start working, wherever, right? So I don't know about you, but I would rather get $200 up front than get a $2 payment for the residual if the carrier just disappeared. Now, it can be very lucrative, right? You can continuously earn 10%. So that is another option for you. But that's why, when I was going to mention to get on a call with me after, that was going to be another program that I was going to explain, but I just didn't want to take too much time from you guys. But that is an option. But like I said, some carriers, I've seen it before. I've actually signed up a few carriers that only factor one round of invoices, and then they don't factor anymore for whatever reasons. And then we try to hit them up, be like, hey, are you going to send over any more invoices? And we cannot get a hold of them, right? So that 10%, remember, it's on the gross revenue that we get. So if we're charging a 2% rate, just do the math. We're making $20 per 1,000. That's $2 to you. So how many invoices would you have to get just to get up to the minimum of the $200, right? So that's the idea. But to answer your question, Calvin, yes, we do have residual forms. And then for lending, I do have people within my network.
Let me ask you another question.
Yep.
Can you diversify that? Like, let's see, if I know I've got a carrier, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 carriers that I'm dispatching for. And I know that they run a whole bunch of freight. Okay, they've been with you for a number of years. They're each doing $500,000, per month in running freight, whatever the case may be. And then you got some carriers that kind of sometimes they accept your load suggestions, sometimes they don't. They're kind of all over the place. Can you choose which ones to send where on which type of agreement?
Which type of program?
Yeah.
Now, the truth is, I've never. It would be. I haven't had that situation, so I can't tell you for sure. So I don't want to say one way or the other. But what I would imagine that management will come back with, they'll say, well, just have them pick one or the other, because it will be kind of hard for us to distinguish, well, which one's on the residual, which one's on the referral. But I could get that answer for you, and through email or something. But I would imagine they would say, have them pick one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get an answer on that, because some of us have a lot of carriers. Okay. We dispatch for a lot of carriers, some small, some large, some, single carriers or whatever. So it's a good little mix. Someone within our network just recently signed up. I think it was you, Deja, right? They got on with someone that needs to have, there's a bunch of box trucks that need to.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that's
that
basically why I was asking that question, because I'm like, these carriers, it's really individual carriers. It's a bunch of individual carriers. But I guess my question is like, no, okay. And then two, some of them they haven't really made a lot of money because they don't have a good dispatcher.
Yeah.
So they don't have a very good history, but when I start working with them, they're gonna be making a lot of money. So it's kind of like I'm selling myself short by signing them up with you now, whereas maybe if I dispatch for them for like 3 months and then have them sign up to you, then I would get more money.
No, then you would just get on the broker program, because
so I can sign
when
them
you get
up
on
for the dispatching program and then switch them over to the broker program.
Well, no, we would just start off on the broker program. So you would, in other words, you would start with the broker program where you receive, 10% commissions for any account you provide for the life of the account. Okay, this is for the life of the account. So now, like how you said, they're not making much money right now, but in 2-3 months they will. So now 10% per carrier is going to be more than the $200.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
So this would be more appropriate for an individual like yourself. Okay. And it really is on a case-by-case basis. And Calvin, I just remembered right now, I had this particular conversation with Denise. She's the manager that I showed you up there. She told me, yes, they would have to pick one or the other. So I just remember that conversation. And they would have to pick one or the other. So either the broker partnership program or the dispatcher referral enrollment form. Okay, but we got both for you. Okay, either one. I mean, you could be making some good residual income. Typically, what I see is that a lot of people find this one attractive because it's for the life of the account. Okay. However, like I mentioned, I've signed up a few carriers. Unfortunately, I've had the unpleasant experience of signing on a few carriers, and then they only factor, a $4,000 invoice. And I mean, shoot, at 2%, what is that? $80. So you would really only make $8 for that $4,000 round of invoices, and then that's it. They disappear, compared to a flat $200 at bare minimum, right? So it's just on a case-by-case basis. But Calvin, you would have to choose one or the other.
Yeah. Basically, what as a dispatch firm, or owner of business management firm, you would have to go through your portfolio of carriers and kind of disseminate what they each are doing and what you're doing collectively as a firm. And then you have to make a decision based on that, which is going to be more profitable or which is going to generate more revenue for you long term or short term.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Calvin. And you know, I know you guys are savvy business people, but this is even a good upsell opportunity to where you could sell your carriers on being like, hey, I'll do all the paperwork for you. And I'll communicate with your factoring company for you. I'll take care of all that stuff. And now instead of charging whatever you guys agree to, let's say you guys agree to 8%, right? Now you're charging, you can say, well, I want an 11 or 12% for doing your paperwork for you too, right? So it's a good opportunity to upsell your service. And the best part about this is that it's in a vertical industry, meaning you're not learning how to sell real estate. You're not learning how to sell insurance. You're really not even learning how to sell factoring. You're just providing an additional service that a carrier that you're providing a service for will already need, right? So it's a smooth transition from, hey, sign my dispatcher agreement, and then also on my dispatcher agreement, let me know if you need factoring. I got a guy that will help you out. Done. And now you dispatch, you know they're getting paid. So it's not like Jose from Jose's Logistics and be like, hey Calvin, I didn't get paid, you know, this week. No. I'm dispatching the loads for you. I know UC Factors is paying you. And now on the PowerPoint, like I mentioned, you get payments directly from us. As long as your carrier agrees to that, because again, we can't force them to fill this out, right? But if it's part of your dispatcher agreement and they fill this in, you're going to get payments directly to you. So it's a great upsell and an opportunity for you to make some residual income, and it's in a vertical industry. You're not trying to get them to buy a piece of real estate off of you or life insurance, right? It's factoring. It's something that they need already. It goes hand in hand with trucking. So it's something to think about.
I got a question.
I had one more question. I don't know what the process is, but is when you sign up with the factoring company, is it like a permanent thing to where you have to work with them for a set amount of time? Or what if you sign up and then they change their mind and they want to leave? Can they do that?
Are you talking about your carrier or yourself?
Yeah, my carrier.
Your carriers? So we have different programs. We have a month-to-month, we have a 6-month, we have a 12-month. So it depends on what they qualify for and what we agree on. So to answer your question, they don't have to stick with us. If they don't like us, they'll be able to leave. Obviously, after whatever whatever contract term has expired, right? But they're not married to us for forever. They can jump factoring companies, and you yourself can as well. I mean, you don't, just because you're a part of this referral program, whether on the referral side, on the per fee basis, or the broker, you know, you don't have to refer over to us all the time. I mean, it's something that I think you will find very advantageous, because we're essentially getting you payment guaranteed through the payment option, right? So I don't know about you, but I wouldn't like to have, at the end of the week, have to go through my list of carriers and be like, man, who paid me this week, right? And be like, oh, Jose from Jose's Logistics didn't pay me, or he shorted me. Now I'm gonna have to call him, and it's a Friday afternoon, and then he's gone for the week, right? And now he's gonna come back on Monday, and I have to revisit this all on Monday again. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, and another thing, it cuts down, it cuts out an entire step that we do, which is creating the invoice and sending the invoices out to the carrier. So that would cut that step out, because we would no longer have to create that invoice for the carrier, because you basically what's going to happen is they're gonna fill out that form, and then the factory company is going to get the BOL and the rate con and the dispatch agreement and everything that's needed, and that way we won't have to actually do that dispatcher to carrier invoice anymore.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Well, yeah, the invoice wouldn't come to us, but what I would do is I would recommend that you guys still keep track of the payments and also what you're charging for tax reasons. I'm not a tax professional, but I would imagine you guys will need to keep track of it. Now, if it's for keeping track of it, using an invoice or some other method,
Well, Square.
I would.
Yeah, we usually use Square. Is what I use, and that's what I recommend. Square Business app is what I use, and I'm trying to figure out if I have let's say if I set up factoring, and I'm taking advantage of the dispatch payment. That option. I can have the money come in directly into my bank account, or I can have a check sent to me. Is there a way to have it sent to a payment collection type account like Square or something similar? Because the reason why I'm asking that is because Square keeps very good records. And when it comes to time for your taxes, you can just go to your Square account and you can print up your 1099 and you can take it to your tax guide or go online and do it yourself just really fast.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see if there's a way that it can be collected through something like Square, but instead of the money going to my bank account, it's going directly into my Square account.
And that could very well be the case because I would imagine Square works on an ACH method, right? Like it goes to a debit card, you get a debit card, but incoming payments would have to go through a bank and an ACH.
You know method. What? You're exactly right, because when you sign up for Square, they do give you the option, and I've got a Square debit card.
Yeah, so they'll give you that option to input a ACH account number or something like that. So then on the form, you would then put your ACH info for Square.
Exactly.
Right. So that's how you would do it. But again, I'm not a tax professional, but I would imagine you would need to keep track of it. You won't have to invoice us. Right? But I would imagine the invoicing probably should still be done just to keep better track of it.
And that's the reason
you won't have to chase them. Yeah,
and that's the reason for having it go into Square, because Square creates it internally into their system. When it comes in, you have to set up the settings to let them know what that is for when it's coming from UC Factories. You understand?
Okay.
So every time a payment comes in from UC Factories, right, it's going to be classified in Square as a carrier invoice payment or a carrier load payment or a factoring payment. So when it comes time to do your taxes, you just go to Square and you pull up your tax forms, and they're going to have your 1099 already made out with that much money coming from what UC lenders as far as what your carrier invoice.
Can I stop you for a second, Captain?
That makes sense.
What if you we don't charge the client's tax? How would we do that?
Is that a question for me or a question for him?
For either or, because the clients the driver's taxes. So with the money going to Square, would we have to just separate that ourselves?
That's how I do it with the invoicing side of it. I mean, with the dispatching side of it. I have my Square account set for when I bring in money from the dispatching side. So that's a totally different Square account that I have. I have a Square account for the Logistics Learning Center, and I have a Square account for RBBS Transport LLC. Okay, so on my and those are two separate businesses. That's why I have them set up that way. It's not the same business. So on the trucking side, where we do the dispatching, I have my account set up to take out 15.3%. Okay, from all invoices that come in, for all the invoice payments that come in. And then it comes into the account that we collect through Square. 15.3% goes into a separate category. It automatically takes that out and it puts it in a separate category. So at the end of every month, what I do is I go and I pull up my Square. This one. I go in and I pull up my Square account, and down there you see where it has it broken down. It's taxes, so forth, and so forth. Now what I do is I transfer money from my Square account. I make my bank transfers at the end of every week. And every week I make my bank transfer. Square tells me how much that money was taxes. So I take that amount, and when I transfer it to my bank account, I have my bank accounts separated. I have the business account, I have a tax account, personal account, and our joint account, or whatever it is may be. So the amount of money that was the gross or the net amount, that goes into the business account. Whatever it says on the tax amount, I'm sending that much to the tax account. You understand? And that's every month, because as an LLC, you have to pay taxes every quarter. And you have to pay tax payment every quarter. So at the end of 4 months, what I do is I go in, I pay my taxes out of what? The tax account, because I've already separated that. And that was already done through my settings on Square, because they tell me how much money was collected for taxes.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have a bunch of carriers that already have factoring services, and
Mm-hmm.
you are telling them about UC factoring, and they decide that
Mm-hmm.
they might want to switch. Does UC factoring compensate carriers for leaving their other factoring company and switching? Like, you know how if you have a
We
phone carrier and a certain phone carrier will buy you out, or give you something for leaving that cell phone service and coming to theirs.
Yeah. So we do have little ways of compensating a carrier, like to incentivize them.
Hmm.
We have gift cards. Uh, Denise actually sends out like lottery scratchers and stuff in like a little gift basket type of deal. So we get pretty creative. We could waive fees like wire fees, because wire fees we can waive, ACH fees we can't. So we could waive those type of fees. Um, so we have ways of incentivizing them. Yes.
Okay. So as a dispatcher, is there something that I can say, like, okay, if you switch over to UC factoring, they'll give you, I mean, I don't want to say a lottery basket because that's kind of like, okay, but they'll do so and
Yeah.
so if you switch over to, UC factoring. Like, what can we advertise as an incentive?
Well, you can advertise our rate. I
Yeah.
mean, the biggest thing is gonna be like, yeah, I know you're talking about an incentive of $50, $100. But if your cell phone carrier said you're gonna get $50, $100 off every single month's payment, what would you take? Right? I take it over the long run, because shoot, if I'm factoring with them for a few years, damn, that's gonna add up. So I mean, our rates go as low as 1%. Okay. Does every carrier qualify for that?
No.
Absolutely not. All right. No, they do not. But our rates are competitive. Okay. Our rates are competitive. Typically, they're between like 2 and 3%. Okay. And we advance pretty high amounts, 95%, and we pay them out the same day. So that could be the selling point right there, because a lot of one truck carriers, they're getting worked over by other factoring companies, and they're getting charged like a 5% or a 4%, and then it's on a tiered rate to where it could go as high as like 10. And yeah, we have tiered rates as well, But when you start as low as 2.5%, I mean, come on, that's enough savings as it is over the long run. Because if you think about it, the difference between, for every $1,000, it's $10, right? If they do at least $10,000 worth of freight for one truck, which they should, that's $100 a month, right? Over 12 months, that's $1,200. So that to me would be the main selling point. And I would say, yeah, let them know we do have, they do have gift cards available and stuff like that, but just get them in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to talk to them about that.
Yeah. In other words, and how I would sell it is this: I wouldn't be specific about what they could get, because that's not for you to do. Okay, that's for the UC Factors official rep to do, because they have to evaluate who the client is, what the situation is, and then they determine what type of incentive that they need to present to that client. Now, what we could do on our end, because we first contact with the clients, I mean, you can generalize all day long. They've got a number of incentives that they offer, some of which are, and your specific conversation with the UC Factors rep, one that will contact you right after you go in and fill out everything. It will contact you, and then you can discuss what incentives that are going to directly apply to your situation. Because I not want us to get into a situation where we're quote unquote making promises to a potential client about what type of incentives they will get. Always been a no-no.
That's what I was saying. I don't want to make promises. I was just asking, is there something, you know what I'm saying? Because
but yeah, I understand.
So basically, the answer to the question is no. There is no something. There's no.
But it's not one thing that's guaranteed. But yes, there are incentives, but you can't make that determination. You can only say that they have a number of incentives. You can go down the list of what they are. You can't definitely say that this one will apply to you. You understand?
Can I ask Jose something?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing that.
Go ahead, man.
When does it rise? If you're dealing with a new carrier, he's a month. Is he going to be like 4 or 5%? What's going to change that? Please.
Our rates once we quote them a rate, they'll be locked in for that rate for however long the term lasts. So, for example, if they're on a month-to-month term, meaning like they could factor in 1 month and then they could leave the next month, for that month their rate won't increase, right? Or if they're on a 6-month contract, then their rate will be good for those 6 months. Or if they're on a 12-month contract, their rate will be good for those 12 months.
Still not.
It won't increase on them. Typically, it doesn't increase. It can only really decrease, what I've seen from my experience. But is there that possibility that it can go up? Yes, that is. But for the term of the contract, whatever it is, because we do have contracts, month to month, 6 months, 12 months, that rate is good for that term.
Paying 5% of the load on $1,000, right?
I didn't really hear that question. What was that?
Okay, I'm a new carrier. I spoke with a new carrier yesterday. He asked about factoring. He's only been a month and a half, so he hasn't made much money.
Okay.
6 months or a year, he has to sign on to get. The longer he signs on, the better the rate, is what you're saying?
Typically, yeah. The longer the term will determine the rate.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Give him an answer.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because when we were talking about that earlier, when we was talking about who qualifies for what a rates is, and one of the points and that I wanted to bring up was, it depends on what type of contract you sign. It depends on what type of commitment that you're willing to make to UC Factors, and that goes with anything. If you're going to do a month to month, quite naturally, you might not get as great a rate as you would get if you're going to do a year contract. or a 2-year contract. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're signing
Yeah.
up for a commitment. Now, if you're not willing to make a commitment, then yes, you're probably gonna get charged a higher rate, because everything is give and
Correct.
take. I mean, I don't care what you do in life, and especially in business, it's always give and take. If I've got a client, if I'm selling tomatoes, I've got somebody that's willing to agree to, then I'm gonna buy 300 bushels or 300 baskets of tomatoes from you for the whole season of tomatoes. Or the client says, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do next week or next month. I just buy this for right now. Now, quite naturally, you're gonna charge that person who is just buying that bunch right now. They're gonna pay more for their tomatoes versus the person who is committing to you by contract to buy tomatoes from you every week or every month for the entire season, and they're signing up for 2 or 3 seasons. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Think of Costco. Costco.
Exactly.
You go in and you buy a quantity of meat that's 10 pounds. You may only need a quarter to half a pound for tonight, but if you commit to buying 10, you're going to get a way better deal per pound than if you were going to go to Albertsons or something and pick up that half a pound to that 1 pound, right? On a per pound basis, you'll get a better deal on the 10 pounds at Costco. Okay. And I, if I'm kind of if it seems like I'm sidestepping questions, or if I'm giving that impression, I'm not. It's just how Calvin said, it's more on a case by case basis. And I don't really would want to say like, this is for sure this way and this is for sure that way. So that's why the blanket statements is what I'm giving, because it's really on a case by case basis. It just depends on what that carrier is willing to commit to, what the sales volume is. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But at face value, you could rely on that.
So
with the case by case basis, it's kind of like, how do I know if
you don't know? You don't
right.
know.
So that's what I'm saying. That's my problem, because it's like I could be referring you all these carriers, but because I don't even know how you judge what the amount or how they're worth, then I don't know if I'm getting what my carrier is worth.
Well, hold on. You can't. There's no way for you to know. And you're never gonna know unless you become an employee of UC Factors. Because let's make one thing clear: we don't work for UC Factors.
Right.
Okay? We are not governed by UC Factors, rules of conduct or however they do business. Okay, we're not privileged to. We don't have any right to see or to know how. What's what I'm looking for? We're not privileged.
But if you're referring your carrier,
I understand that.
Then you should know
you can refer. You can refer, but there are some business practices that are. What's what I'm looking for? There's a legal term for it. It's a legal term for it when you have business practices that shouldn't be divulged to anyone else.
Like proprietary information.
Thank you. There are some business practices that are proprietary, okay, and that is not for you to know. Right. What you need to know is kind of like in the military, and I know that very well. We get set on a mission, and they tell you what the scope of the mission is, and you start asking yourself and say that's on a need-to-know basis, soldiers, and you don't need to know. That's just all it is. I hate to put it that way.
So the only way for you to be able to confirm that you're getting your money is by doing the 10%, because if you do that 200 to 1,500, then anybody can decide how much they want to give you.
Well, no, you got to submit it, and if your carrier goes in and then they discuss it with them, because that's really between them and the carrier. It's not really for you to know.
But to give a carrier an honest answer, if I said to them between 2% and 5%, that would be reasonable.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what I would tell them then.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the factoring though. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the referral fee.
Yeah, I think the 10% sounds pretty good because.
You got to make that decision on how you want to sign it. All right, you know what type of business you're doing. I know what type of business I'm doing. I know that if I'm going to refer my 317 carriers over to UC Factors, I'm probably going to go with what? The 10%. Why? Because I've been doing business with those 317 carriers for the last 2.5 to 3 years. Now, if I was just starting out and I didn't know, if I had carriers that was wishy-washy, some carriers that pay on time, some carriers that don't pay on time, some carriers that, that run, loads the way I suggest them, and they make a lot of money. Some carriers take my advice, sometimes they don't take my advice, and their income levels are up and up. I'm going to look at my entire portfolio. I'm going to say, now, how many carriers do I have that are following my advice and are making great money? I've got this many carriers that's totaling up to this amount of money, okay? Each month or each week. Now, how many carriers do I have that are wishy-washy, that don't want to take my advice, want to do what they want to do, and they're only making this much money? I'm going to total that up. I'm going to look at the bottom line. I'm going to say, now, which outweighs the other? Right? And then I'm going to make a decision. Do I go with the flat commission for the one time when I refer them over, or do I go with the residual? But that is the determination that only you can make. And what you decide to do depends on you. It really has nothing to do with UC Factors is offering. It has to do more with what your network is actually doing. You understand what I'm saying?
And then another, and then to your point, Calvin, you can suggest freight to your carrier all day long, but if they take it, that's up to them.
Exactly.
So remember, your 10% is off of the freight that they actually get dispatched, like through us as well. So if they're not factoring certain loads, because remember, we don't ask them to factor every single invoice. So if they're not factoring invoices for certain freight, then the 10% is really, the 10% is off of only the revenue that we collect. So we don't force them to factor every single invoice. So that's something to take into account as well on the 10%, right? So it's one of those things where you just have to make that evaluation and then see what's best for you moving forward. But those options, the option for the two is there.
Now, as a business consultant, let me put my consultation hat on, okay? Remember, this is business. This is business. The business decisions you make, they affect you, but remember, this is business, and you're not tied into UC Factors. You're not. Let's say down the road, a year from now or 2 years from now, you got a much more stronger relationship with your carrier. You become a better salesperson. You become a better businessman. You now have 50, 60, 100 carriers. Some of those carriers have multiple trucks, 60, 70, 20 trucks, or whatever the case may be. Now, there's nothing to say that a year from now, 2 years from now, you can't call up UC and say, hey, look, I've grown as a business person. My business has really, really grown. Here's the volume that we're doing. They know because they're factory, right? They know what the volume is. Now, there's nothing for you to say that you can't, at some point in time, take a look at other factoring companies, what they're offering, to see if they're willing to offer you something more comprehensive or better. And then you go to YouTube and say, hey, look, here's what I'm faced with. It's called what? Renegotiations. Okay? That's what it's called. They can either renegotiate and say, okay, because your business is now grown, you're developing something a lot more than what you was when you first started. You're a little bit more savvy. So let's sit down and let's talk about it. That's business. Okay? Yep. Nothing personal. That is business. And this is how you conduct, and that's how you would have to conduct business if you're going to want to stay relevant and you're going to want to stay competitive. Make sense?
Yep.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
This is for Jose. Can you go into details about what is considered double factoring? Because it says something about the dispatcher and carrier. What about the broker? Don't the broker factor all their loads?
Yeah. So what will happen is whenever we get payment or whenever we get a round of invoices, say we just factor one load, it would be invoice, rate confirmation, BOL. When we get that, we'll send it to the freight broker, okay, if it's a load from a freight broker, then they'll send it to their factoring company, okay, and then their factoring company will then in turn pay us, right? So that's the way that it would work. That's kind of like the inner operations of things. So it wouldn't be double factored because we're not buying like say for example, we're not buying a double brokered load, whereas it goes from TQL to XPO, and then now it goes from dispatcher to carrier. That's not what we're doing. It wouldn't work like that. It just goes around in a circle. Does it funnel through two factoring companies? Yes, it does. But it's still technically the factor for the freight broker is acting on behalf of the freight broker like they are the broker. So that's where we would be getting payment from them.
Double factoring in the sense that you're talking about is when a factoring company does a factoring for a broker, and then the carrier turns around and get that load factored through the same factoring company again. That's more of a classic style of double factoring. If one factoring company is paying another factoring company, that's not quote unquote double factoring, because the carrier is not getting charged twice. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand. I just wanted to make sure, because when you mentioned it before, you said that the broker and the carrier, they all get paid through this service. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, it wasn't considered double brokering. Also, my other question I have is, what if your carrier was to save his invoices and submit like multiple ones instead of one at a time? Is that an option, or that's not an option?
You mean like every time they drop a load, they can then send in that invoice to us?
Like, yeah, multiple invoices.
Or if they want to save them up until the end of the week, send them all at one time.
I would recommend that they do that, how you just said, Calvin, where they save them up for the end of the week and get on a good schedule, like Wednesday to Wednesday or Thursday to Thursday.
Okay.
Because everything that they pulled from, let's say, Wednesday to Wednesday, now on Wednesday night, they're getting their paperwork together. By Thursday morning, they send their funds out, and then boom, you know, we have that paperwork, we process it, and then we send payment out. So at the end of every week, they're getting consistent cash flow. That's how I would recommend they do it, because sending it one by one, like if they're really in need, absolutely, they're more than welcome to do that. And they could send multiple ones on a daily basis. If they're a local guy doing a lot of LTL, they can send 3 or 4 invoices in one day and then get paid out for those. But my recommendation would be hold for that whole week. That way they're on that consistent income generating, you know, cash flow type of business, to where they got a system locked down and they're getting factoring consistently and everybody's happy.
Okay, got one more question. All right, so
sure.
Next, I just had a brain freeze. Somebody else go. Somebody else go. Go ahead, somebody else go. I'll think of it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any more questions? No more questions? Well, listen, guys, I really appreciate your time. Calvin, again, I appreciate you. You've been helpful for me when I was a freight agent and going through trainings, these Saturday trainings. I was doing them recorded because, you know, I just visited your YouTube channel and I would watch the recordings. But McCrae's Blue Book, sourcing shippers and all that stuff, I mean, I went through it all. So I want to tell you I appreciate it, because I learned a lot from you, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity right now to come on, use a bit of your training time to explain what we can do for not only RBBS but for your dispatchers. I hope that I brought forth a lot of value, and that, you know, this could be the beginning of a strong partnership between UC Factors and RBBS. So I appreciate all you guys.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, have a good weekend. I'm signing off.
All right, Jose. Thanks again. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Bye now.
All right. All right, everybody. Okay. I got my goes back. I am like a sharing. Right, there he is. Thing. All right.
Happy belated birthday, Calvin.
Oh, thank you. My wife made me a nice birthday breakfast. And it was it was great. Give me a moment. Let me figure this thing out and make sure that we get the sharing thing here going. All right. All right. Sharing, and then let me start back sharing. All right, here we go. All right. Now we got back control. All right. But yeah, my birthday was this Friday, was yesterday, and I've been hit the big 5-5. So I thought it'd be nice to give myself a haircut and knock off about 10 years. All that great. I'm gonna try to keep it shaved. But y'all know how that is. It's so busy doing stuff. Look, discussing what we just had, the privilege to hear from UC Factors. I've been talking with UC Factors for a while. They're not the only factoring company that I'm in talks with. There's another factoring company, and we'll probably have them on hopefully next week. I'm waiting for her to get back from out of the country. The other factoring company, the young lady who we're dealing with over there, she also does missionary work, and she is in Nicaragua. Thank you. She is in Nicaragua at the very moment, and doing missionary work there. And she said she'll be back in about a week. So hopefully she'll be back in. That was about almost 2 weeks ago, so she should be back by now. And I'm gonna try to make contact with her and try to have her scheduled for either next week or the week after, so y'all can hear from what they have, because they offer a little bit different type of deal. As you all heard Jose say, he has connections with other companies outside of UC Factors that does the lines of credit, equipment finance, and all that type of stuff. This other company has all of that integrated into their company. They actually do that in-house. And they do have I think their residual program is a little bit better, because I've been doing residual with them for quite some time, but it's been mostly people who want to finance trucks and people who need type of money other than factoring. They going over and using this company to finance their trucks, to get business loans, to get lines of credit, anything from $150 up to $2 million. Get those I get these checks that come in every, if I pull one out here, these checks that come in all the time. And I'm not going to pull up and show you the name, because then I'll be giving away something. Do I have these here? So that I usually have them, but once we move, we packed all that stuff up and maybe in a different, I usually keep them right here in my desk, but I haven't really unpacked everything, packed everything up. But I showed it to you all on an earlier broadcast, about maybe a month ago. But yeah, it was about maybe a month or a month and a half ago when I was showing you all those residual checks. So, and that goes back to what I was saying. Whatever way you decide you want to sign up with UC Factor, or how you start to know with OG Factor, some stuff over to you. You're not obligated to stay with them all the time. You're not obligated to send them everything that you have all the time. You can, send some over there into that program, and if you see another program that pays better residuals, you can send some over there to that program. So you can use that program for your, like I said, you have to evaluate what it is you're doing as a company. You have to evaluate your clientele, and no one knows your clientele better than you. No one knows the type of revenue each of your clientele is generating better than you because you're directly involved with them on helping them to find their freight and knowing what type of loads they run. And you know their habits. You know, look, I can go through a number of the carriers that I have, and I can tell you their little quirks and things that they like and things that they don't like. This guy don't like the mountains because he's not a very good driver when it comes to mountains and doing those grades. This guy's okay with the mountains, but he's not okay with doing the wintertime. This guy just doesn't like cold weather, so he never goes anywhere that's lower than 60 degrees. So I got to keep him in the south. This guy likes long runs, so no matter how hard I try to convince him, he won't take short runs, so his money is going to always be limited. So you know what it is you have going on. You should know what type of revenue or what type of long-term prognosis you should be able to give each carrier. Now, based on that, you have to sit down and you have to evaluate all of your carriers, all the business you have coming in. You have to evaluate which is more stable. Am I gonna take this and put it into the residual side and collect that 10% or that 20% or whatever it is, that 10% for the life of these accounts? Or am I gonna go for the lump sum money up front because I don't quite know what these guys are capable of right now, what they're doing. Now, they're saying pick one or the other. Yes, you do. Obviously, they won't allow you to do both at the same time. But because you pick one or the other does not mean you have to stay with one or the other. Okay, that's why I brought up the point of after you kind of got a feel for what you're doing, revenue-wise, what you're bringing in, how your carriers are running, because you're growing in the industry. You know, a Riotcom when they first started out probably would not have went with the 10% because they were just starting out. In the early part of 2018, when they were just starting out, they would not have went with the 10%. More than likely, they would have went with what? The lump sum, because they had a lot of people that were signing up, but they didn't know anything about these people. They didn't know what they was doing. So, and they didn't know how they would run. They didn't know what their, how much money that they would make or how much of the load management that they would take from them. So with that being unseen, with that question mark out there, it's a hard move to go with the $200 to $1,500, right? Does everybody agree with that? Without knowing, that would be the smart move, okay? But as you develop as a dispatch firm or a brokerage firm on our business management firm, as you develop and as you grow and as you get more stable with your clientele and your clientele trusts you when they're taking your advice more, and you know that they're with you long term, and you know you're booking at least, especially if you got them on those short loads and you connect them to the brokers and you turn them into what? Dedicated. Now, if you got that type of thing going on where you develop that relationship with 60 or 70% of your network, and you got them on those dedicators, then yes, that residual will probably work out best for you. But until that happens, you're going to go with what's going to put the most money in your pocket. And remember, this is not the only money you're making. This is just kind of like a side hustle. This is diversifying your revenue stream. That's what it is. The whole point of this is to show you all that there are so many different opportunities in this industry. To diversify your revenue stream. You could be making revenue from dispatching your carriers. You can be making revenue from factoring. You can be making revenue from business loans and truck financing and revolving lines of credit, all that type of stuff. You can be making revenue from a whole different areas, but it's all coming in right into your same pot. And that's the whole emphasis that I wanted to make on that. And you're never going to be able to get a company to divulge all of the secrets or all of exactly how they do business, because some stuff is proprietary. And that's why it's on a case-by-case basis, because you never want to have someone outside of your company. I don't care who it is. You never want to have someone outside of your company making decisions for the company before the company has even had a chance to even see who the client is. So no, that's not going to ever happen. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have someone outside of my company making decisions for me as far as what we would do for someone. And I haven't even met the client yet. Okay, you want to leave that up to the company. Okay, because it's their job to close it. It's your job, like on a car dealership. Some salespeople were great salespeople and they could close. Some salespeople were not great salespeople. So what they do, they go out and what we call, they would be the hook. They will hook the fish. Then they would turn them over to quote unquote a sales manager. Well, a sales manager was just another salesperson. But the salesperson that they were turning them over to, he was just good at closing. He was a better closer. And then they would split that commission once he closed that salesperson and got him into finance and car finance. And those two people would split. Because the other one was great on meet and greet, handshake, taking for a test drive, them to come inside. Once they came inside, he knew he was not a good closer. So I'm gonna introduce you to my business manager. The guy originally wasn't a business manager or my sales manager. He really wasn't a sales, he was just another salesperson. He was just a salesperson who was better at closing. This is kind of like what you have here. You all are not the closers. UC Lending, I'm my old mortgage company. UC Factors is the closer, okay? So, put them in a chair, okay? Introduce what you have. That referral link is a great link because you can share it everywhere. And a lot of times you won't even know who you're referring over to them if you use that referral link the right way. You're sharing that referral link on Facebook and all the groups. If you're sharing it on Instagram, if you're sharing it on Twitter, if you're sharing it on LinkedIn, if you're sending it out by emails, if you know or whatever, inboxing it to people, if you're putting it in the groups, all these different many groups that have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 60,000 members in a group, and you're sharing that link, 90% of the time, you're just gonna get a check and you'll say, who is this from? Because you don't know who clicked on your link and when to sign up. 90% of your revenue is gonna come from people you don't even know. And you had no idea that they went and signed up because you just shared your link and people clicked on it, and you got credit for it, and you signed up and you got that money. Now, in that instance, you might want to go with the one-time fee, $200 to $1,500. Because unless you have a huge network of carriers like me, 10% is probably going to be cutting yourself out of some money. Does everybody understand where I'm going with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have to look at what a referral program or an affiliate program actually does for you. And when you have one that is willing to give you a dedicated link, you may want to rethink that, trying to do that 10%. Because I'm telling you right now, if you have that affiliate link and you just put it out there all over the place, because when you put that affiliate link in, this is what it's going to look like. I have it on my page here, and I'll show you what it looks like. Like I say, Damien has it. He just puts on his website. So obviously, anybody that visits his website, they're not always signing up with Damien to dispatch them, right? But they may visit his website and say, oh, here's a factory link on here. And they sign up for the factory. Damien don't know who signed up for the factory. Now you see, factory will send you a report by email of their the contacts that actually use your link. And they'll say, this person, sign up and have an appointment for whatever time, this is that. They'll send you that. But if you're not constantly checking your email for everybody that signs up on that link or that clicks on that link, then guess what? You're not gonna know anyway. So, and these are people that you more than likely are not dispatching for, right? So you're not gonna have pretty much any control over, how much money they're generating, or you're not going to be able to have any say so as far as your recommendations. Okay. Let me show you all what that link does look like from UC Factors. I think I got it on right here, and I share it from time to time. Some of y'all have probably seen it, and I create little things. You can create videos and put that link in it. You know, there's all type of things that you can do on your YouTube channel and things like that. See if I can find it. In the meantime, does anybody have any things or points that they want to bring up? I'm looking for this. Ah, there it is right there. All right, this is right here. This is just a picture, but that's what he can call me or whatever it's gonna be. This is just a picture of one. But, and I have another one that I did. This just tells them that we are, has partnered with UC Factors to promote invoice factoring for small businesses, whatever. I have a number down here that they call. But my link, I have one that has the link in it itself. And when you put it in, it pops up. Matter of fact, I bet you if I put it in up here, because I've gone through it several times on here. If I put it in up here, UC Factors, and it should have my link. There I am right there. Y'all see that? UCFactors.com/RBBS transfer. Right? So if I take that link, that's my affiliate link. Okay? That's my affiliate link. Now, this one is going to just their general page. I have another one that goes to Invoice Factoring. One. Yeah, it's the same one. I think I put in the wrong stuff, but it has your link in it. Oh yeah, this is for an article. That right. That was just for an article. That was went to an article, but I think that article is already gone. They had on there. It was like something you do out each month, and they have articles and different things that you can share. So people, when they look at them, it will tell you different stuff. But it keeps taking me back to the what is factoring. But basically, what it does is when you put your link in and they paste it or whatever, it's going to pull up their factoring page and then they can go and sign up or whatever the case may be. But show y'all what it looks like when you put it in. If I go up here and I paste this in. All right, when I paste this in, it's gonna pull up it's gonna catch a preview. Okay, it's gonna have a picture. It's gonna have a preview, and so when you post it, it's gonna pop up. This one didn't do the picture, but it's supposed to generate a picture when you do it. Something about that company or whatever it may be. Sometimes you can change it. I can do this. That. Let me do it again. I'm gonna have to go to my email and just find the exact link. You can do this too. You put it in, then you can come down here. There it is. See how the picture came up now? All right, it's gonna pull up something. It's gonna pull up something from that website. Now, I can do this. I can create my own photos and put my own, branding photo in there. Something that, I picked up or something that I'm doing or something that I created myself that I want besides their logo. Okay, so if you want to personalize this to your company, you can do that too. You can go in and let's say if I wanted it to be, that instead. Y'all see that? And then I just chose that, and then I wanted to post that. It's gonna pop up like that, right? Or I can left it where it said UC Factoring. Then I can go up here and type stuff in, RBBS has, you know, partnered with UC Factors, you know, whatever. So then they can go in, they can click on it however they want to do it. But if I would have left it the other way, all they would have to do was click on the picture itself, and it would take them right over to UC Factors. Please. But the point is, when you do this, you are basically, you know, you're not gonna know who's gonna click on it, who's gonna see it, who's gonna use it. So you're not really sure who's gonna use it or whatever the case may be. And so therefore you won't have any control over, you know, what you know, how much money they're making or how much money they're bringing in. So you may want to opt for the one-time amount. Hopefully everyone understood what I was saying. Yeah, go ahead.
I got another question. Okay, so this brings up how I feel. So basically you're saying you're not gonna know who clicks on the link. So let's say this really big time carrier clicks on your link and signs up for your, you know, your factoring affiliate. How are you gonna know that UC Factoring didn't just give you $200 when this carrier that you don't even know clicked on your link is making hundreds of $1,000s a week?
Okay, then how about you just double your efforts in signing up more carriers? Because look,
but
look, no.
That's a ripoff.
No, it's not. Because look, do you have that money now?
That's not the point, Calvin.
It is the point.
They're ripping you off by saying, I don't know how much money I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna just give you money. Don't worry about how much money I give you. Just know you're gonna get money.
Look. You're going on the premise that everyone is trying to rip you off.
No, I'm not. Everybody's not trying to rip me off.
I understand that, but you're going on the premise. That everyone is trying to rip you off. Because in order for you want to be guaranteed to know exactly how much money you're gonna get for each client that comes in before you even send the client over.
Not necessarily. It's just that when you said that these carriers, you may not even know who clicks on your link.
That's the whole point of the affiliateship. That's the whole point of having an affiliate link. Because you want to be able to generate large amount of money that comes in from sources that you didn't even have to really work hard to get. You want to lessen your workload, but increase your revenue stream. It's an extra stream of revenue that comes in regardless. Now, because they have set guidelines in place, you know that each carrier that calls them up, right, that goes in and connects with them, they're going to ask them certain questions to determine where that carrier is as far as how much money they generated or whatever the case may be. Because they're going to see their last month revenue stream. They're going to see, well, how much business did you do last month? How do I know this? Because when I signed up for Factory, they want to know the exact same thing with me, with the Factory company.
So when they click on the link, is there a way, because you know how many people clicked on your link, right?
But because I get an email from the Factory company when someone is in my stream. When someone goes on.
Do you know who these people are that clicks on your link? Is there a way that they list the names of the companies that click on
your link? Yeah, they do. I mean, now if you want to call them up, that's up to you.
That's what I.
But here's my advice though. Chances are you're just gonna F up the deal. I'm just telling you because you don't know enough about Factory. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know enough about Factory to call them up and say, well, you're gonna get this and you're gonna get that. If you do this, you're gonna do this. No,
I'm not concerned. No. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I don't care how much UFC charges them to factor their loads or how much they sell their invoice. That's not what I'm concerned about. All I'm saying is I want to know if so-and-so transportation with 50 trucks clicks on my link and then UFC Factoring sends me $200 when this carrier is worth hundreds of $1,000s a week.
All right, so if they send you a $1,500 check,
then I'm happy. That's all I'm asking about. But I just want to know when am I getting my $1,500? I don't care about all that other stuff.
Okay, so when they send you a $300 or $400 check, you're saying that, well, because I don't know if that's what it actually is, I don't like it.
No,
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 Kevin.
no, no.
I think you're just reverting back to your point. Her point is that if a big company signs up, she just wants her part of the big company, not the fact that
Yes.
What I'm
oh
saying,
they're
this is what I'm
just
saying.
you're just
And
reverting back to your point.
that's because you're buying into the paranoia. What is it? The
That's not
paranoia.
paranoia.
Yeah, you are buying into that every company is trying to rip you off.
No, I just think you should tell her like, oh, like maybe try to like tell her
But you
like, hey,
can't.
yeah, they'll go into
But you
that.
can't. You can't.
So
Look,
this
It's
look,
just
is my
fair
thing.
game.
look,
She's just looking for fair game at the end
look.
of the
And it
day.
is fair game at the end of the day. There's a such thing as fair game, and there's such thing as mind your own business. You're in my business. You're in a company's business. That's why they have laws and rules for proprietary information. Some things you are not supposed to know unless you have signed a non-disclosure form and you are an employee or someone who is directly under UC Factoring. Now, if you haven't signed that to only represent UC Factoring, guess what? It ain't your business to know that. Y'all need to understand this is how business is ran. Everything in business is not meant for you to know that you have not signed a contract that says that you are what foreverly and only connected to that company. Now, if you're willing to make that type of commitment, if you're willing to put your mouth and put your money on the table and commit to only them, then yes, you can share in my proprietary information. But until you do that, you ain't got no business knowing how I do this or how we determine this or how we determine that. I would do a contract what you said that I will in good faith pay you X amount of money if this carrier is worth this much, if carrier is worth that much. But then I will show you after the fact that when you get your check or when you get your money, then I will show you after the fact for each carrier how we derived at that. But until then, no, that ain't none of your business. Okay?
But Calvin, can I ask you a question
Yes.
to add on to what they're saying? So basically, you saying that once somebody use your affiliate link, there's some type of system in place where they track who went to your or use your link, right? So if you wanted to do further investigation based on how they give you payment about who what amount you received, you also can probably go into details with Jose. He can let you know based on their company profile what they qualify for, right?
And that's on the company profile.
No. Like say for instance, if RBBS Logistics sign on and they make $1 million a month, whatever, he should be able to say, hey, this person made this much and he qualified this system instead of the
Not
other
necessarily. Because
Okay.
that person may not be being active by you.
Okay.
And unless you got a release from that company for them to share their information like that, then no, you're not gonna know that.
Okay, so it's like a
Let me ask you a question.
confidentiality agreement.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say you sign up with someone to do your credit repair.
Mm-hmm.
You want them sharing your information?
No.
So why are you trying to do the same to someone else? Why don't you even want to try to do the same to someone else?
No, I get the whole concept.
Look.
I just you want to dig a little further, but you're saying not to dig any further.
Look. Here's the deal. Okay. We live in a climate of where everybody wants to know everybody's business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to know. Hold on, Dave. I know what you're saying. I just want to be assured, but guess what? Ain't no assurances nowhere on this planet. You are not assured that you're gonna wake up tomorrow morning. You're not assured that if you roll out of bed, you're not gonna slip on something and break your neck. Mm-hmm. You know that probably more than 900 people died last night because they rolled out of bed and they had some type of accident. You don't think they had plans?
Right.
There are no guarantees. All you can do is take advantage of the opportunities and try to do what? Live the best you can and make as much as you can and provide for your family the best way you can. This is just another option. This is just another one of many.
And I don't have a problem. I'm just asking questions. Honestly, I think you thinking that I'm saying it's bad. It's not. I'm just asking questions. I mean, this is the first time hearing about it. So I'm just asking, what's the process? I mean, I didn't think it would be a problem for me to ask. Well, how am I going to know?
But there's a difference between asking a question and challenging someone's integrity.
Is that challenging integrity to ask?
No,
What is the
when you ask
process?
when you ask the same question 3 times, 3 different ways, that's challenging someone's integrity. Look, people are not stupid.
Okay.
They're not. I'm intelligent enough to figure that out, and I know he was intelligent enough to figure it out. You asked the same question 3 times, 3 different ways, but it was the same question. You got the same answer each time, and you was ready to ask the 4th question, but about the same thing, but in a different way. You were just trying to find a different way of rephrasing it. Look, y'all know me. I shoot straight. I tell you exactly how it is.
Me too. And I'm just, I mean, is that a problem for me to ask the question?
And I tell you,
if you're a salesperson and you're a business person, you should have the answers.
Look, I am great at reading people. Okay.
Exactly, but you're telling us how it is, Calvin. From what I'm hearing, I already know what you want. So, like, exactly. I guess we could just continue. Like, I know exactly what you're trying to say right now.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you're never gonna get that answer. You can ask that question.
Exactly, it's never gonna be like a fate. It's everything's always gonna be in between the lines. So, but I get what you're saying, though.
Exactly. So, I mean,
I'm sorry if I made y'all feel like I was challenging his integrity.
No, it's just
like you said, it's just business.
What I'm trying
exactly,
to
and Deja, you should know like what he's basically trying to tell us right now. So it's straight, Calvin. You're good. No one's challenging you, but like you're basically already telling us what's up.
No, hold on. It's not me. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this: I don't want you all to get the idea that okay, every affiliate program I sign up with, if they send my client, or they really not your client, their client, if they send my referral something, and then I get paid for it, or before I get paid for it, is there a way I can contact that referral to do my own investigation to see what it is they're doing? And all I'm telling y'all is this: you're cutting your money in half when you start doing that, because you don't know enough. I don't know enough to start calling up clients and questioning them about their revenue.
Right, I would never do that. I would never call them and ask them about their revenue because I don't care about that. That's not what I'm asking.
But you care if you're getting paid the right amount of money or not.
Right, and it's not that deep because, like you said,
so
it's just
how
a
are
link.
You going to
so
determine? So how are you going to determine if you're getting paid the right amount of money or not?
That's my point. I can never know. I will never know if you see Factoring is giving me the money that's the carrier is actually worth or not. I just won't know. That's basically the answer. That's it.
Now, if you want to do that, roll the dice and go with the 10%. So then you will know. But you're rolling the dice.
But how you brought it out was a good point. If it's on my Facebook or it's on my website, it's just a link. So I really don't care if they're just clicking on the link. But you know what I mean? It's just I just wanted to know. Like you said, it's just business. I was just asking. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. I was just asking. I'm sorry.
No, but he also said that if you wanted more in-depth details, to give him a direct phone call. He didn't want to. He didn't want to overdo the PowerPoint.
Because remember, this goes out where? To YouTube, Facebook, it's all over the place.
Right.
Okay. Like I said, you're looking at proprietary information. Chances are, here's what's going to happen. If you call them up and say, hey, I want to know more about this, they're going to shoot you out what's called a NCND. Y'all know what that is?
Non-disclosure agreement?
Exactly. That is going to bind you legally by law. That if they share any type of proprietary information with you, and you go out there and share it with someone else, and they find out about it, they're going to sue you for every doggone thing you worth. And what you are worth in the future. So whatever money you make is going to go straight to them. Look, these practices and these rules and regulations, they're put in place for a reason. Okay, when you start doing business on this level, you see factors, when you start working as a corporation and you're doing, especially when you got companies that obviously have investors. Okay, when you have investors, they are regulated by what's called the what? You don't know what the SEC is? Y'all know what that is? That's the Securities Exchange Commission. They are worse than the FBI. They are worse than the IRS. They will put you away for 100 years for violating some of their rules and their regulations. They are like the ultimate law enforcement agency that polices corporations. And there are certain set rules that you have to abide by. One of which is misappropriation. The other deals with what? Privacy in your client's information. And another one deals with company proprietary information. Okay? If you all want to know how serious that is, just Google the SEC sometime. Google them and see who they're responsible.
I would never try to tell their private information.
I understand that, but he don't know that. He don't know that.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
He don't know that. Look.
And like you said, it's just business. That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking the question.
Some of the questions you were asking, if he was to answer them, and then someone else who's just listening went out and did something, whatever, who is it going to fall on? It's going to fall on him. When the SEC comes back and says, that a company said that you gave away private proprietary information, about them that was under contractual law that was supposed to be kept between you and them, who's the SEC going to fall on? Who's going to get fined probably $2 million in fines? Who might go to prison for 5 years? He will. Okay, and yeah, I said prison. People go to prison for doing stuff in business that they shouldn't have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you gotta understand it. You all have entered into a different realm now. You are not just out there like Mary Kay and what's that other thing people do on a little side gig?
Avon.
Yeah, network marketing, multi-level marketing. This ain't that. This is not that. When you all go and you get your EIN number, you sign up with the IRS, you have to do what? Your legal entity. An LLC is a corporation. An S Corp is a corporation. You all are now falling under the eyes and the rules, regulations, and laws and the jurisdiction of the SEC as a company, as a corporation.
Mm-hmm. And
that carries serious weight on how you should conduct business. You all ask me some things sometimes, and I tell y'all, well, I can't do that. I have investors I have to protect. I can't do that because we have to do business a certain type of way. Some people say, can you take a payment for this platform outside of using the credit card or the credit? No, I can't take a cash payment for this thing. No, it's an expropriation of funds. I can't do that. You give me 5 to 10 years in a federal prison. Or at the very least, cause my investors to call for a vote of no confidence in the out of my own company.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different realm, you all are playing. You all have graduated to the pros. You ain't in college no more. You're not playing high school sports no more. You're in the pros now. You're in the pros. You're playing for big stakes. Your businesses can go from where you are right now to 6 months to a year from now. You be doing business in every country and every continent on the planet. You all have the potential to go from where you are right now to doing over $500,000 to $1 million, close to whatever you want to do, because you just grow like that. And when you are in that type of arena and you're playing that type of game, there are eyes, officials that watch you to see what you're doing. They check your tax return to see if you're filing all your tax returns. They check to see if you're filing every quarter if you're an LLC. They check to see if you're trying to hide money here or hide money there. They're checking to see if you took cash payments on something that you did not report. You all are in the big leagues. Okay, this is not some little, PayPal, let's get rich quick scheme thing. No, this is. You all are business owners now. You're all corporations. And then y'all know who Nadar is. How many years did that man get? 100+ years.
Yeah, 100+.
Who put him away? The SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So don't play with these people. Don't. Just take my advice. Don't. Conduct business the right way. If you want to know something, give them a call, offer to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but make sure you cannot never violate that non-disclosure agreement.
Can I ask you a question, Calvin?
Sure.
I'm sorry, are you done?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Did you hear about TQL?
What about them? I hear stuff about them all the time.
About them laying off 700 people?
That ain't that. That ain't
That's
that.
not,
I mean,
that's not new?
no. I mean, it's. I mean, we're in a state of emergency. We're, TQL is a huge brokerage firm, and they had a lot of people there who was not doing nothing, no doggone way. I mean, let's face it.
But
They had a large number of freight broker agents that really weren't cutting the mustard. They just had them on because they could, they can afford to have them hanging around. But now what? This is a what? This is the crisis, right? Everyone has to cut the numbers and personnel, right? Why are they doing that? They're doing that because they want to lessen. I mean, it's a business decision too, because now they got this new what? This new stimulus package, right? And companies that are affected by the what? The coronavirus crisis, they get that money from the stimulus package, right? If TQL keeps their full staff as businesses boom and they're not doing it, they're not hurting. That's what they don't qualify for. They don't qualify for any part of that relief package.
Right, but that's true. But what do you think about the non-compete clause?
Well, I mean, if you sign a non-compete clause, you sign a non-compete clause. I mean, it is what it is. If you sign a non-compete clause, that means that you signed a non-compete clause.
So it's just saying business is business.
I mean, yeah, just business. I mean, you knew that when you went in and signed a non-compete clause. Now you get an attorney to challenge it. Now, do I think that they would go after you, someone who was working for the TQL? Because I'm pretty sure that non-compete clause, there's some type of waiver or some type of disenchantment if you are fired, or if you are fired for reasons that are not of your own demise. You understand what I'm saying? You have to read the entire non-compete clause. You can't just say, well, I signed a non-compete clause. It's non-compete. If quit, it's non-compete. If you're fired and because of something you did wrong, is that clause still in effect if a natural disaster happened or something outside of your control?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So a non-compete clause is not just a blanket clause. You have to read, usually it kind of thick. You got a lot of different things in there on what you can and cannot do and how this is affect, cause and effect. You got under this circumstance, under that circumstance. You understand? So it's not as simple as just saying, well, you're on the non-compete clause. Well, let's look at that clause. Let's read the entire contract and see what the avenues lead. Because a lot of times you can find ways within the contract that gives you a way out. And this definitely would probably fall under the category of what? Nobody's fault. You understand? This would definitely fall under the no fault. Because obviously no one saw this coming.
Yeah, also a lot of insurance companies are denying people, saying that read the fine print.
Well, it does read fine. But also look. There will be challenges out there, but bottom line is if there was an executive order from a governor of that state, from the president of the United States, then whatever your fine print says don't really mean a hill of beans. Their order supersedes all that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why now people who are considered self-employed can now do what? File for unemployment, right?
Right.
There is no situation that has ever happened but that's been a case, right?
Right.
But because the governor issued what? A executive order, or the president issued an executive order that all non-essential businesses are to cease operations effectively, immediately, right?
Right.
So that supersedes everything else. Okay? These are different times, different conditions. And everything has, rules. I mean, there are rules in everything you do in business. You just have to make sure you read them and apply the rules that apply, and the ones that don't apply are the ones that get superseded. You got to know it. Now, if an insurance company is going to challenge you on whether you know the rules or not, then that's your fault for not knowing the rules. You need to read up on it and see if you can reply to that challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like mortgage companies now, here in the state of Florida, they put a freeze on mortgages. Now, exactly what does that mean? That means that if your industry has been affected by the current crisis, your mortgage cannot be defaulted on while we're under what? A state of emergency by order of the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of mortgage companies that's going to be upset because people ain't got to pay the mortgage. Now, my wife and I, we will continue to pay our mortgage, so we haven't been affected by the crisis in that manner. So you have to know your situation. And as an adult, as a business owner, that is your job to know. If you don't know, it is your job to find out, because you are ultimately going to be responsible for what your own actions. There's a lot of money to be made in this industry. A lot of you will make probably an ungodly amount of money. But what comes with that is a lot of responsibility too. Okay, this is no longer, well, my side hustle. That's not what this is.
Right.
I don't know what y'all thought, what you heard, but that's not what this is. Anytime you go into an industry where you can make upwards of $500,000, over $1 million a year, and that potential does exist. It's not some theory out there. That's not a theory. You can actually do that because you have something about this industry that's completely different from a lot of other industries. This industry has a unique capability to allow you to be able to grow exponentially. Okay, and those of you who don't know what exponential growth is, you can bring in as many agents or sub dispatchers or employees or whatever. You can duplicate yourself as many times as you want. You can directly duplicate yourself 5 times. And I'm sure you say, but isn't that network marketing or multi-level marketing? No, it's not multi-level marketing, because you're actually producing a product. You actually have a service that you are fulfilling. Okay, multi-level marketing, most of the time there's no real product. There's no real service. You just get paid on the duplication, right? You're getting paid for duplicating yourself, but you're not getting paid for. In this case, you're duplicating yourself, but you don't get paid unless that duplicate can do what? Produce, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that duplicate don't produce the same way you produce, guess what? Nobody gets paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference. You're not just getting paid to reproduce, you're getting paid to grow your firm. And that's on all aspects. The size of it, the revenue, the number of people you bring in, whole 9 yards. So it's all linked in together. And that's what you call exponential growth, and that's also what you call you are vertically integrated. You're vertically integrated. Because you can bring in the trucking companies and sign them up with them, sign them up. You get them on the contract, that's your book of business. You can sign up with brokers, that's your book of business. You can sign up with shippers, that's your book of business. All of that is basically in-house, which makes you what? Vertically integrated. So once you've done that, it's easy for you to grow exponentially. You hire yourself 5 people. You train them. They get good at what they do, right? You can tell them, say, look, if you go out and bring in 5 people each and train them, and they start producing, I'll pay you as a district manager. Then this is something that we haven't gotten into yet, because I was saving this for the broker thing, for the new division, when we go out and start talking to brokers. This is one of the things that you can do. But let's say you bring in 5 dispatch agents. You say to your dispatch agent, look here, we have a program where if you become good at what you do, I will make you what's called a district manager. Okay, then you go out and you bring in 5 sub-dispatchers. You're going to be responsible for training them, right? So you're responsible now for training them. Right now, I'm paying you what? 7.25% of every, thing you do, or I'm paying you, 20%, 30%, 40%, 60%, whatever the case may be, right? You bring those dispatchers in and they start generating revenue, like you're generating revenue, I'm going to give you an extra 1% or 2.5% or 20, whatever it is, on all the stuff that they do. So now you're giving up a little bit more than that 7.25%, right? Remember, we talked about that division, how we do the new setup. If you're a broker, now you're paying a little bit more than 7.25% because now they got sub-account executives that are going there and they're bringing in their own accounts. So you're not only getting your 7.25% on your account, but you're getting another 2% or 1% from the other account. So now you as a firm, you're giving up a total of what? 9.25% if you're giving up another 2%, right? You're still not giving up a whole bunch of money, but it's a lot of money to them because they're getting paid on every load that gets booked from their account, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see how, as a district manager or a regional manager or whatever the case may be, how your money would grow exponentially if you brought in 5 people and all 5 of them went out and got 5 new accounts. It's called exponential growth, where 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, 32 becomes 64, 64 becomes 128, so on and so on.
Right.
Exponential growth. Now, when you're in that type of structure, your revenue stream is pretty much unlimited. Your growth capacity is pretty much unlimited. There's no telling how far you can grow. You can actually grow to be what? A Riacom or logistics or DZR. It's amazing when you all sit down and you really think about what you all have stepped into. You step into an industry that can survive what most people are calling the end of the world by all standards. I wouldn't call it that, but this is pretty hard. We had a pretty bad time, y'all, right? For the rest of the world, right?
Right. I also saw on the news in New York that they was using a refrigerated truck to put the bodies in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty bleak moment for a lot of people. A lot of people still not able to generate revenue, but you all are.
Sure.
I mean, think about that for a minute. Sit down and think about that, and then say to yourself, you gotta say to yourself, man, am I blessed or am I just lucky? A little bit of both, right? Because you were given the foresight to do something. You didn't know what you may not have known what you was doing, but if you're like me, I believe in a higher power. You knew what you was doing, right? Or that higher power knew what you was doing. He knew what you was stepping into. So, but at the same time, there are rules for everything when you start operating in an industry that has this much potential. Okay, there are rules to business. There's such thing as business etiquette. Okay, there's such thing as business etiquette. Now, that's not a legal, ramification thing, but it's just like having manners, right? It's like having manners. When you meet someone, good morning, how you doing, sir? How you doing, ma'am? Good afternoon. A nice dress you have on. Yeah. Oh, I like your tie. That's the mannerism of being having manners within business. That's called a business. That's called the etiquettes of business. And one of the etiquettes of business is don't tread on someone else's proprietary stuff. That's one of the etiquettes of business. Okay, I'll be willing to do a contract with you. I'll be willing to show you this after the fact, or I'll be willing to show you this once we have something in writing that ties us together. I'll be willing to show you this on this and that, but I'm not going to show you this beforehand.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What I'm going to do next week is I'm going to have another company come in. They operate a little bit different. They are fully integrated. We talk about that vertical integration. company that I'm gonna try to have come in next week, they do a lot more than just factoring. Okay, this company, their main focus is on factoring. The company that hopefully we'll have here next week, their focus is on just money. Okay, I mean they've got it all right there in house, equipment financing, you know, the whole 9 yards. Matter of fact, I can go and tell you all who you are. Let me pull them up real quick. My email. This is what I do most of the week. I'm usually having conference calls with different industry professionals that are connected to this industry, trying to work out, you know, deals where we can get more tools, more resources, more things that will enable us to work faster, get paid on time, get paid more money, things of that nature. On top of working with some people within our network on bringing new stuff to the industry and new stuff to our platform. So, you have to forgive me if it seems like I'm really busy, because I really am. I'm really busy. But it's all part of what we do.
Hey Calvin, while you do that, I had a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the auto haul business being slowed down due to this coronavirus, or is still, you know, moving accordingly?
Well, the auto haul business itself is in one fashion, it probably is when it comes to people moving stuff back and forth. So people are most people are sheltering in place or whatever it be, but then you got some people who are moving out of these big cities. So in that sense, no. Now I'm not gonna say that the auto haulers themselves are not concerned, and they are, you know, some of them are trying to get back and spend more time with their families. I mean, that's just a natural thing. But the industry itself, not really. Damien, I don't know if he's on here or not.
Yes, I'm here, Calvin.
Have you noticed any real big slowdown?
In terms of the amount of loads, no, but the only slowdown is drivers. Some of the drivers, they just shut down and
Exactly
go home. But as far as
that's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
It's not the industry, is more so you know, just a preference thing for the drivers. You're gonna have some drivers that are gonna say, no, yeah, we gotta make this money. You know, some drivers say, yeah, this time we go home and be with my family.
Let me ask you this. I have an LLC, but it doesn't have the transport and logistics name in it. I had a business consulting company before I even came a member of RBBS, right? So is there anything I can do in the meantime until I open up another LLC to get plugged in with Central Dispatch, or how can I attack the auto haul industry without an LLC in place that has the name?
Okay. Darren, all I can say right now is just hold on. Just hold on, y'all. Darren, I, and Khalid, we are working on something. Okay, so just hold tight. And when it comes, I guarantee you, you all are gonna be excited about it all the way. You're gonna benefit from it greatly. Hold on a second.
I want to work on it with you.
This is Calvin with the RBBS Business Manager. How can I help you?
What's up, man? This is Tom. I've been watching the videos, and man, I can definitely use your service to help me out. I'm a new freight broker just starting out.
Okay.
And, like I said, I'm watching videos you had.
Okay. Well, Tom, we're right in the middle of our Six Figures Booking Rate from Home show right now. You actually live on the show right now, on the broadcast right now.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah, you can just get back with me.
yeah, I'm gonna give you a call back, or or if I don't call you back within the next hour and a half, call me back in about 2 hours. Okay. I appreciate it so much. All right. As I mentioned before, we are, and I can't say much more than that about it because it's just trust me when I tell you it's big. Right there, just trust me when I tell you it's big.
Yeah, this one is real big.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to help, let me know. This Vern talking.
Okay. All right, Vern. Give me a call sometime later on, either later on today or tomorrow, and tell me what you think you can bring to the table because we got some stuff that we want to do and matter of just doing that. I've actually been working on the website. I don't want to show any part of it yet. I have it ready to show Damien and Khalid probably by the end of next week. I should have a working model up, and then from there, we can go in, and Damien can give me his expertise, advice on things that need to be put in it, or changed, or taken out, and Khalid can get to work on the encryptions and the security, and then once that is just all branding from that point, just brand, and get the name out there and let people know what it is, and the way we have it kind of surmise on how it's going to be set up, it is going to bring in a lot of clientele. So, and it's going to be clientele for the network, all right? Because it's going to be a network type thing, not within the network. At least for the first year or so, you're not going to be able to really take advantage of it like you would. All right, but that's where it is, and we'll just leave it at that. Other questions? I'm trying to find this. As long as Jose and I, we've been sending stuff back and forth for, yeah, other people within his talking to Denise.
I had a question about the broker efficiency thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a lot of people that have been telling me they're interested.
Yeah.
When can I tell them?
We plan on launching May 1st.
May 1st.
Other than that, there's not much to tell them except for what our goals are and what we plan on being able to do for them. Anticipation is a good thing. The more it builds, the more you can gauge your probability of success.
Right.
And a lot of times it's good to just let that anticipation just hang out there. You understand what I'm saying? Because people they become hungry for it. And
because I have a guy that I talked to the other day, and he basically doesn't even know how to look for shippers.
Yeah, most of them don't.
So I was like telling him, I'm like, I mean, I gave him a couple names for some websites that he can go to, but he really needs help. He's struggling.
Hopefully next week we will have the people from Triumph Business Capital come in. Now, Triumph just bought up a whole bunch of financial institutions, factoring companies. A company that had been doing, that I had been a referral agent of for almost a couple of years was Interstate Capital. I had been doing a lot of stuff with them, and my commission checks were like huge coming up from them. But they got bought out by Triumph. They bought up several financial firms. Triumph reached out to me and we've basically been in talks, just like I've been in talks with UC Factoring. I've been talking with Triumph too, and we have a product that they are developing strictly for dispatchers as well. But they are more integrated with the industry as a whole. When I say the industry, I mean the money industry. Okay, they do more than just factoring. They do factoring services, trucking, freight brokers, small, mid-sized businesses, staffing, oil and gas, government contracts. But other services that they have Web Portal, Triumph Pay, back office solutions. They do asset-based lending, huge equipment financing, huge fuel cards and small business, and advances that low resources that they have. They have new to factoring, hiring, one of the factoring. They also can help you with that system, showing you how that works and help you to get involved with that. Invoice factoring versus cash advance loans, factoring, quick add factoring videos, and factoring forward. So they have a very, very nice program, and they also have an affiliate program. Hopefully, I'll be able to get them on next week. This is what I'll tell you about the young lady who is out of the country right now, and her name is Wendy. Hopefully, I think she's back in the country now, but I've had a relationship with the company that they bought out for years. And when they looked on and saw how much business I was sending over to that company, they reached out to me. I wanted to know about our network. Yeah. I'm about to say something. Okay. But hopefully I have them on next week. That's what we're trying to get them up and ready to come in next week and tell us what they have for us and what they can do and things of that nature. And there's nothing that says that you can't work with both these companies. Okay, I mean you can. If instead of you wanting to split your things between one company, you can have one company that you're doing the residuals with, the other company that you're doing what you call it. You know, clientele using over this company, some clientele using over that company. You know, but you all should know how to gauge your own clientele, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you should be able to
know how to gauge what?
Your own clientele, your own carriers, and what they are capable of, and what type of business that you're doing with them. You can pretty much, as a dispatcher or their own business manager, you should know which carriers within your network has the potential to make more money, which carriers who are not making nearly the kind of money that they should be making, which carriers are doing a great job at taking your advice and making money. So with that being said, the carriers who are consistently bringing in high numbers, and if they've got, multiple trucks or whatever the case may be, then you may want to go with what? Something that gives you a good residual, right?
Right.
But the carriers that are not so consistent on making, good load management decisions, or they only using you half the time, or whatever the case may be, you want to send them over for that one-time payment, right?
You say you want to send them over to do what?
For that one-time payment, that $200 to $1,500, right?
Right.
So, this is business. Diversifying. Like I said, this is, you all have stepped into the real game. You stepped into the big game. Okay. This is the type of decisions and the options that you have when you're in a business that can generally put you in a position to where you never have to worry about where your money's coming from again. You don't have to worry about.
I wanted to say this real quick. I work 5 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And they got us working Fridays and sometimes Saturdays because we're a critical industry. So I got like 5-6 carriers, but because of my work schedule and all of that, I had to partner with a sub dispatcher who handles that portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always kind of find myself you know, having to catch up with the videos and stuff like that in the little time that I do have. But I really want to, so what I was telling the dispatcher that I work with, you know, you doing the dispatching and stuff like that, but I want to make sure I keep up, you know, customer relations. And I'm trying to find out, you know, exactly, you know, what happened to the ones that was turning down loads that you provided them, and then they calling me at the end of the week saying they really need to take on more loads. They ready to travel up north now and stuff like that. I'm saying, well, you turning down loads, that don't really make sense.
Exactly.
You know, but what I'm noticing is that most of the people that do stuff like that are new and probably don't have a great feel for the industry themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you obviously have a good pulse of your clientele. You know what's, like you said, you know, now you're saying you want to do this, but at the same time, you're turning down loads. I mean, you know, either you're going to follow our advice or you're not going to follow our advice. You know, we're here to help you to make more money. The more money you make, the more money I make, right?
She found them a $1,200 box truck load and they turned it down. I'm like, y'all guys crazy.
Wow. Wow. Daisy, you deal with box trucks. Is that a good load?
That's a good load.
So yeah, I'm like,
depends on how far it was going, but yeah, that's a good load.
Box truck, it was probably a local run, wasn't it? Not within the same state, right?
Yeah, she told me it was a good load. It made a lot of money. One of them told them that they had a load already, and the other one just didn't even respond.
Yeah. Yeah. See, those are the ones you send over for that one-time cash, for the cash sum amount, right? Those are the ones you send over to get just the one lump sum. And then if you got a company that you can send people to that has a great residual, then you want to send the good people, the good carriers, the ones that really, really, really want to get out there and make that money. Those are the ones you send over for residuals. Okay. That's how you want to work that. Okay. That's why we bring these things to you all. I'm not going to bring you all just one company and say, okay, this is a company and this is who we have that you all can. I mean, I've shown you all how to find these companies. I've shown you how to go on and look for affiliate programs. You can sign up with 100 of these companies if you want to and send them all business, you know, if you can do it, all right? Because the more streams of income you have, the more stable your financial health is, right? So that's the whole point, right?
Correct.
You know, you want to stabilize your financial health. So no matter what comes along, you are still stable. You're not there running around worrying about how I'm gonna my mortgage payment, I'm gonna pay my insurance, I'm gonna get that stimulus check, what I'm gonna do. No. I mean, you want to be in a situation where you get up every morning, you go out on your bike porch, you sit down with your breakfast, and you open up your laptop and you know, how many trucks you got that need to go where, and you're looking at all this new freight on the load boards and all this new, you know, money and the higher rates that they're offering. And you gotta know, and you know, like me, I'm already thinking about a way to bring the trucking industry together. And I was thinking about putting out a letter and just put it out on social media, put it out there on the web, right? And the letter was gonna be the truckers' allegiance. Okay, it was basically just gonna be a letter letting everyone know that in this time of need, the trucking industry has your back. We will not let you down. Okay, as we have always done, we will be here to deliver your goods and services. You know, we're always gonna have your back, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how dangerous it gets. You all can rest assured that while you are sheltering in place, we will be out there bringing you the things you desperately need. Now, at the end of that letter, now it's going to be a lot more dramatic than that, but you all get the gist of what I'm going with it. At the end of that letter, it is going to basically state something to the fact that, you know, we will always be here for you as we always have been. And the only thing that we ask is, don't forget us, don't abandon us, because we never abandoned you, right? So try to put that out, try to get it to go viral. And once it goes viral, then it starts getting in the hands of the right people. Because there's been a lot of talk on the internet about, some truckers, some owner operators, some truckers out there talking about, well, now is the best time to strike. No, what's the worst time to strike? It's not time to be talking about striking, because what you're going to do with that, you're going to vilify the industry. People are going to remember that in the greatest time of need, you all abandoned them because of money. Right? What do you think it's going to do to the trucking industry moving forward? That's not going to speak well of the industry, right? All that's going to do is hasten their, speed up the process of what? Complete automation. That is just going to give them a reason to move forward with automation, regardless of if it's 100% safe or not. You've just given them the ultimate reason to go forward with complete automation. Now, the other way to play this is play the hero, right? Become that industry that when everyone else is afraid, everyone else is frightened, be the industry that stands strong. Be the industry that, even with all the risks, still gets out there and bring the things that the country needs to survive in these times. Now, when that happens, right, when this is all over, then you got a big bargaining chip that you can cash in. How do you cash that in, right? Because this industry has provided, this situation, this current crisis has provided something to the trucking industry that it never had before. Can anybody tell me what that is? The trucking industry has always been, running at a deficit. Freight was never really high, right? And there's been time and time again, cases where the truckers unions pop up and everybody tries to force the industry to give them what? Better conditions, better pay and all that type of stuff. It's always failed because of what? It never had what? What's the one thing the trucking company, that the trucking industry never really got, but it deserved it, but it never really got? The support of the people.
Recognition.
Exactly, gratitude, right? We right now, this industry right now has a unique opportunity. There's an opportunity to show the world, especially this country, how valuable the trucking industry is to the life of the country. And not by striking, but by going forth united and just doing what we do and just keep doing it. Regardless of what's happening out there, regardless of what else just in place, if it comes to martial law, guess what? The trucks will still run. Right? Supplies still get there. Medicine, vaccines, masks, respirators, food, everything you need to weather this, the trucking industry will have your back. Now, when that's all over, there will be a great debt of gratitude that's owed to a lot of people, not just the doctors and nurses and the police, firemen and the EMTs, but more so the trucking industry on top of everything, because even they need the trucking industry. Where do the doctors get all this stuff from? How is it brought to them? How the life-saving, respirators and the masks and the protection and all the things that they need, how is that brought to them? Everybody's gonna owe a huge debt of gratitude. And you do that by doing your job selflessly, and then at the end of it, then you play your cards when the crisis is over, right? Because now you can gain the support of not just the people, but more importantly, the politicians. Because politicians only respond to one thing, right? Constituents, right? Voters, right? That's all they respond to. So if you got the support of the people, you got the support of the politicians. You get the gratitude of the people, you'll get the support of the politicians. And the trucking industry has never had that type of situation before on a large scale. They may have had it in hurricane here or there, or earthquake here and there, but it was just scattered out. It was just separate areas. Now it's the entire world. The fate of the entire world is at stake. This country now has more infected cases than any other country on the face of the planet. The trucking industry keeps rolling, regardless of the threat, regardless of the dangers that they face, regardless of being away from their families and not being there to shelter in place with them and protect them. They're still out there rolling. So once you get that type of gratitude from an entire nation, right, you got the attention of the politicians. But the politician's not gonna want to vote against something that the people support. Because that's how they get reelected. And everybody knows that a politician ain't worth nothing if he can't get what?
In office.
Exactly. He can't stay in office, he ain't worth nothing, right? So all you need is just a few politicians to back your cause. And look, I know y'all, some people probably gonna look at this video and they say, man, that Calvin, he always trying to think of the way to come out sunny side on top. Well, that's the military in me. You know, you get caught in a firefight. You get caught in an ambush and you ain't got time to sit there and like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? No, you gotta just go with the training. You know, you get caught in an ambush, you gotta go with the training. You gotta assess real quick how many men you got, what type of weapons you have, what are you gonna do? Let's do a flanking maneuver. I want, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys take the flank on the right. You 3 guys lay down suppressive cover. You guys flank to the left, right? So leave most of the bulk of the ammunition where? Here to provide the cover. Because what's here is gonna do what's called intersecting fire. And you're gonna just lay down fire, so you can walk on the bullets. You can get up and just walk across it. That's how much you're gonna be pouring out there. Because you want to keep their heads down, you want to keep whoever's out there focused on what? The core of the ambush, the kill zone. Because that's where all the fire is coming from, retaliating back towards the ambush. So they don't notice the guys flanking to the left and the right. Once they get in the flank position, then they start firing in on them from the left flank and right flank. Now, the ambush has now been what? Reversed. It's been flipped. You flipped it. Now, the ambush has to what? Break up the concentrated fire. They have to concentrate on 3 areas. Now there's less fire coming in, so now what? The main force can now get up and everybody just starts converging in. You never run from an ambush. You go straight at it. That's the type of thinking that I have all the time when I employ stuff. Y'all have to forgive me, but I'm an old military guy. Okay, and when you see in combat as often as I did, you just kind of relate everything to that, and for some reason it tends to work out that way. It becomes relatable stuff. Okay, so I think the trucking industry has been dealt for lack of a better word, the biggest gift that it's ever had. An opportunity to show the world what we are made of, an opportunity to show the world how much the world needs us. And we can either squander that opportunity by talks of strike and all this other stuff, or we can capitalize on that opportunity by doing what we do best. All right. Questions? Questions. We're going to have a quick Q&A. It is, what time is it, y'all? It's 1 o'clock, right? Yeah. All right, but let's have a Q&A anyway. I usually tell y'all that we've got to hit by 1:15, but we'll go a little bit longer. Any questions from you all from anything that you all were doing this week? If you have questions about, I have a few things that I want to go over, but I want to know if y'all have any questions. No questions? All right. Some of the things I want to go over is if you are going to, if you are trying to get straight dispatch, I've been getting a lot of calls from people that want straight dispatch, okay, or a lot of calls from people saying that how do they get straight dispatch? How do they get the license key? And I thought it was a discount. I thought it was already included. All right, straight dispatch is a third-party product. That is not our product. Okay, that is not our product. That is a. Uh-oh, I don't want to do that. Get out of there. I have to show y'all on load board. We ain't ready to show that to y'all yet. I'll put up load board. I do apologize, y'all. I wasn't trying to pull that up. Let's get the whole page. I was not trying to pull up the load board. Right, not right now. All right. Straight dispatch is a third party. This dispatch helper. That's a third party product. That is not our product. That product was developed by Mr. Khalid Hodge. Okay, Khaled. How do I remember his name being spelled? Because it's almost identical to my daughter's name, Khalel. So and her name is pronounced Khalel or Khalel. Do y'all know who Khalel is? Anybody know who Khalel is? When it comes to, I wouldn't say historical, but when it comes to genre, entertainment genre, Superman. Superman's name is Kal-El. They always pronounce it Kal-El in all the latest movies, but if you go back to the very first movie about Superman with Marlon Brando as Jor-El, his father, he pronounced his name Kal, you roll it, Kal-El, not Kal-El. You know, later on, it got pronounced as Kal-El because I guess people were kind of lazy trying to roll that L off, Kal-El. So it became Kal-El, okay? But it is spelled Khalel. Okay? All right. So this is straight dispatch. As you all can see here, if you are just a regular customer, he charges you all $14.99 monthly. If you are an RBBS member, you get it for $9.99 per month. Okay. Any additional keys cost you an additional $4.99 per month for any additional keys. If you might want 2, 5 keys, and whatever it would be, to operate on several different devices at the same time. Okay. Now, our members get the discount from our discounted link, which I'm not going to show here because I don't want everybody having our discounted link. So you are receiving a discount up front on straight dispatch. Okay. We also give you an additional discount. If you look at when you get your monthly subscription invoice, okay, let's take a look at that. When you get your monthly subscription invoice, you also get a $4.99 discount from us, from the platform, RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. You get a $4.99 discount on your monthly subscription fees. Okay, it's just our way of helping you to offset your straight dispatch costs. Right. So when you factor in all your discounts, you're really only paying straight dispatch what? $4.50, right? Do y'all make heads and tails out of that? Or is that just a little bit too? Do y'all get that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, some people have been calling because they have a problem with the wording of the, and going slow here. Give me a second, y'all. Internet slowed down. I got too much stuff open. But anyway, when you get your new members welcome packet, it lets you all know about your discounts on straight dispatch. Now, if you ever have a problem with straight dispatch, don't call us. I mean, we'll tell you who to get in contact with or how to get in contact with him. But if you got to contact Khalid Hodge. Now, when you contact him, don't call him on the phone because he's never going to pick up. He gets too many calls. He has become way, way, way too busy to try and pick up every phone call. The best way to contact him is through Facebook, and that is in the chat group. If you are a member of our platform, you are able to go to the chat group and you are able to contact Khalid. All you got to do is when you get to the chat group, I'll show y'all exactly how to get in contact with him. You're in the chat group, all you got to do is get there. Once you're in the back office chat, once you're in the private chat group on Facebook, go to the chat group and just start typing in his name. And it will pull him up, and you basically just send him a message, you click on it and you send him a message, I need my license key. I'm having problems logging in, or I need, just whatever it is you need, okay? Whatever it is you need, come on. This thing is running slow. It'll pick up here in a second. Basically, I mean, we've been on here too long. But if you contact him through the chat group, it's a lot quicker because his phone is set up just like my phone. Whenever someone puts something on the chat group, and especially if they attach my name to it, it's gonna bling right on my phone. Then go right to the messenger, and then I can respond. Same thing with him. That is the best way to contact him. Let's get here in the chat group and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you just start typing in his name, it will pull him up, and you'll be able to send him a message directly. If it's something you don't want other people to know about, I wouldn't do it within the chat group. I would pull him up and then click on his messenger profile and send him one private, okay? But you just start typing in his name. I'm going to put it once my computer clears up here. I was talking to y'all the other day about your computer speeds, right? This is what I mean when you have too many pages open. I've got 3 browsers open. I've got about, that. All right, too many browsers open. But if you start typing his name, okay, when you get to the H, it should pull him right up. There he is right there, Khalid Hodge. And then you just start typing in, I'm gonna put just talking about you. In today's show. Okay. And normally if you do that, he'll get it and he'll respond right back. That is the quickest and best way to contact him. I'm telling you right now. If you're trying to call him up on the phone or send him an email, it may be days before he even really, gets back with you because he just has so much going on right now. His software has become very, 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 very popular. So just remember that. All right. So that's the best way to contact him. Go to his chat group, type in his name, send him a message, and I promise you, he will get back with you. Okay. That's really truly contact you. Another thing is, a lot of you new people who are coming on, you're not going through all of your stuff. Your orientation, see? Now y'all see that right there? That's how quickly he responds if you send it through here. Now did y'all just see that? He responds very quickly. Okay. Basically, he's just responding by, I'll try to connect in if I can. Okay, so he's gonna try to get in, and anybody has a question for him, he'll be able to answer. Okay, but that's how you get his attention. That's how you're gonna be able to get up with him. That is the easiest and fastest way to connect with Mr. Hodge, and he handles all straight dispatch stuff. Okay, that is his company and his product. All right. What was I? What was I? Oh yeah. Orientation. All right. A lot of you, when you get your packet, you get your new members packet. Excuse me. In your directory, let's go to the directory. When you get your new members packet, when you sign up, go ahead and put in visit. All right. You sign up. Let's take this person right here, and they just signed up. When you sign up, here's what you get. You all get a message, this right here. Okay, the person signed up at 7:20 a.m. This morning, and the message was sent to them at 8:01 a.m. Okay, this usually goes out within an hour to 2 hours after you sign up. Sometimes it can be within 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes up to 2 hours. It's an automated system, so it just gets sent. Okay. Sometimes it's sent quickly, sometimes it's sent a little bit later, but it's always within the first hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay. So when you get this, now you will automatically get your confirmation email immediately after you sign up. But this is for those of you who are calling back, asking things, and the things you're asking are letting us know that you are not following, that you're not reading all of your instructions and you're not following the instructions. This is what you all get. You're going to get something that says RBBS LLC orientation. Congratulations and welcome to the RBBS National Dispatch Network. Copy and paste the following orientation link. There's the link right there. Okay, that's the link to your orientation video. Now, what a lot of y'all are doing this. You're copying and pasting that, or you're linking on that, and you have just forgotten to come back and read all this stuff here. So before you go away from this, read this, because it says, after viewing the entire orientation video, be sure to click the Show More or tab below the video to reveal 2 instructions and 2 links to access your back office tools and resources and your private chat group. Okay, because a lot of people are just going over to the link and then they're calling back and say, hey, how do I get into the back office site? How do I get into the chat group? How do I do this? How do I do? Well, read the instructions. It's right there. Everybody gets it. It's right there. And it goes on to say, don't forget, training schedule. It tells you when the training times are. It even gives you the link to go to and log into the training. Okay? So you get all this stuff right then and there. And then you get something that tells you about your, your straight agent discount and your monthly subscription and things like that. But the very first thing you get basically tells you how to get into the back office and how to get onto the chat groups and all that type of stuff. And in case some of you all don't know what this is, let me open this up real quick to show you all what we're talking about when it comes to that link. When you go to the orientation video, the link, the Show More tab that we're talking about, and this is not just for the new people who've already signed up, but people who are thinking about signing up, so it's kind of like a refresher to show them where everything is. So we're getting a lot of calls wanting to know, how do I get into this? How do I get into that? And that tells me you're not following the directions. Here's the video. When you finish watching the video, if you look down here, you see where it says instructions. Okay? Right there, it says instructions. Now, some of you are doing this. You're seeing what it says after watching the entire orientation video, first proceed to. And all they do is click that. They never open up the Show More button. Because when you click that, that's basically going to take you over to where? your back office site. And you're gonna probably figure that out, but then you forget to send in your request for the private chat group, right? So what you need to do is click this show more button, like your first set of instructions told you to, right here. It tells you click show more button below the tab, right? So you click that show more button, and then it opens up everything. And then you need to read all this information, above these two double lines. These are your instructions. First, proceed to mydispatcher.org. Once there, enter the dispatcher tools and resources page and create your back office account login. Note, you must use your enrollment email address as your username to gain access, to gain approval to access your back office. That's very important because I went back and checked on some stuff because some of the interns had sent me some stuff saying that they got calls from people that were, or they got texts from people that were complaining that they had signed up, but they couldn't get into the back office. It's been about 9 or 10 of them, okay? And I went and checked. No, they can't get in the back office because they did not do what? Use the same email address that they signed up with. They use a different email address. That tells me that they didn't read the instructions. They did not read. They didn't take time to read the instructions. They did use a different email address. The interns, they are not going to investigate. All they're going to do is copy the email address you send when you send your login stuff in. When you create your login, they're gonna copy the email address you sent, and then they're gonna paste it where? On Square, to see if you are indeed enrolled. And if they paste it here, up here in the directory, and it pops up, no customer found, what are they gonna do? They're gonna put decline and send you the access denied message. That's what they're gonna send you. And so then you're gonna call and say, well, why can I get in? Why can't I get in? But they're trying to say, well, I don't have any, of that email address. That email address does not match any of our enrolled students. So therefore you can't get in. Now, when they send them over to me, yeah, I do a little bit more investigation and I find out that this is Miss So-and-so and so, or Mr. So-and-so and so. Then I have to call them up and say, what is your enrollment email address? And they'll tell me, I said, now what is the address you sent in? And then they say, oh, I didn't know I had to send my enrollment email address. But there it is right there in writing. Okay, very important you all read all of the instructions. Okay. Then it says, second, proceed to Facebook and send an inbox request to the following profile. Just a profile right there. That's gonna take you right over to my personal Facebook page. And you're just gonna send me a message. Okay. If you get this, you are looking for where it says Calvin Butler logistics trainer or something. There's right there. Calvin Butler, RBBS logistics trainer. If you see that, then you're in the right place. And then just shoot me a message. Inbox me. I like to. I'm requesting access to the private chat. One of the interns will get it. They will see it because they monitor my social media pages. They will get it. They will respond back by sending you what? A copy of the chat group rules, and then they will add you to the chat group. Okay, that's how that works. Now they may, if you didn't send over your email address, they're gonna ask you what is your enrollment email address, and then from there they will do whatever they need to do. All right. So just be aware of that. That's the procedure. Those are the steps you should be following to get fully acclimated into the back office site, into your chat groups, and into the platform. Now, it's just a matter of just following the instructions. And so just please take the time to follow the instructions. Okay. That way you won't get held up. You won't be spending a week trying to get into the back office site, or a week trying to get onto the chat group, and you missed a bunch of stuff. And I want everybody to get in as fast as possible and be able to do whatever, the things that they need to do to get up and going and booking some freight. All right. Khalid, did you jump on here? I don't know if he jumped on or not. Oh, here's my FedEx package. Nope, it's not for me. They pulled off. Thought there was some stuff we had ordered, but it's not. Is Khalid on here?
Calvin, when you got a second, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the dispatchers that worked with me, I was trying to tell her that she might be able to find something for our box truck carriers with the medical. And I was telling her to go in the back office and, you know, follow what y'all put in the chat group. And she said she was unable to find it.
Okay.
And I just, you know, point her in that direction.
Now, yeah, now that might be kind of difficult to find. Yeah, you just got to do your research. Find that, especially right now. FEMA, if you go to the FEMA site, because I think I gave y'all a link to the FEMA site. You can try that. Another one you can try is disaster relief sites. Go to Google, just type in disaster relief. You know, I even was trying looking for some specific medical loads and stuff like that. Chances are you got to go to an organization that already has that, and you got to sign up with that organization. I don't think you're going to be able to find, quote unquote, a specific shipper that is saying that we got medical loads. So I'm thinking you got to go through some type of process. You can't just show up and say, I want to take some medical loads. And there's going to be a process that you're going to have to get signed up with, because those carriers are probably paid on some other type of method that's government funded or whatever, that's part of some type of stimulus relief package or whatever the case may be. So you're probably going to have to go through a vetting process and get signed up and to get on that. I don't think it's going to be something that you can just direct the carrier to and say, hey, go here, just get in line. I don't think that's going to be it.
And you said check the FEMA site and the disaster relief site.
Yeah, disaster relief. Yeah, check the FEMA site, disaster relief site. I put the FEMA link on the chat group. You go back to the chat group and kind of stroll back up, you'll probably see it. And give me a second. I'm trying to find it through another method too. Let me try to find it through our SITCO site. Go to the SITCO site and see if I can find it that way. Okay, we are looking for medical. By that comes up on that. All right, medical hospital equipment wholesalers, medical hospital supplies, radiations, shielding garments. Okay, medical surgical supplies, abdominal supporters, braces and trusses, medical and surgical supplies, you know, cotton, sterilized, medical and surgical supplies, applicators. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, right? And that's just 1 through 30, and there's 371 pages like this.
Okay.
So I don't know what she was looking for, but I mean, the SITCO site is a good place to start, right? I mean, it's got all 19 million plus shippers registered in the United States. So you should be able to find something in here. I mean, that's just 1 of 30. That's just one page, 1 through 30, and you got 371 pages.
And so she should Google, or we could Google that site right here. What is this, macrisbluebook.com?
No, this is in your back office.
Oh.
Just go to your back. Just repeat the step that if you just saw me do. Did you not see me go back here and click on what it says? Click on where it says search 19 million shippers.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna go. Just go through your back office site, because it's already programmed to just put in what you're looking for, and then just pull it up. All right. Go to your back office site. Over here. And there it is right there. Put the cursor over that. It says what? Search 19 million shippers. Click on that. It's gonna take you right to the holding page for it, and then you click on the link. So right here where it says right here, standard industrial classification SIC, S-I-C, system search. Allows the users to search all 19 million plus domestic shippers. Click on that, and it's already pre-programmed and set. All you gotta do is type in whatever you're looking for.
Medical.
Medical, you type in medical. Produce, you type in produce. If it's lumber, you type in lumber. If it's fuel, type in fuel. If it's electrical, you type in electrical. Just whatever you're looking for. Type it in and it pulls it up. And then you go through here and you kind of, put in what you want to put in. And somebody said in the chat, where is auto hauler carrier agreement located? The auto hauler carrier agreement. I don't have one that we have on the site. Somebody was just asking, Which Scholar has one. Damien has one. You might want to contact him, and he doesn't mind sharing his copy of it, and you all can kind of make yours off of that. Standard agreement, but contact Damien or Darren, that's his name on Facebook. Contact Darren or go to his website, contact him, and I think he either has it on his website or he has it. Okay? But basically come here, then you click on one of these medical supply things, whatever. You got plenty of medical supply, shippers on here. So click on some of them. Let's see what happens. This move. And I would, once I got here, I would click on get a free quote. There you go. Fill out that information, right? You can upload your carrier agreement or your carrier packet, whatever you want to upload. Then you can send over to them, and you type in, a little brief message down here, and you hit send, and then they will contact you and let you know what it is you can do to get signed on to move some of that freight.
When you say upload the carrier agreement, you talking about the dispatch? I mean, you talking about
no, not the dispatch. I'm saying that if you are a broker.
Oh, okay.
You have a broker's you have a broker's packet. You can put that in, or if you are a dispatcher and you have something that's written down about how you operate, who you are, right?
Yeah.
You can just copy and paste that, or you can put that on a PDF and then just load it up.
Gotcha. Okay. Like a little bio or something.
Exactly, like a little bio, and just shoot that over to them. Okay. But I mean, pretty much anything you're looking for, you can find it in that area of where we find the shippers. Okay, and that's in your back office. And that's an easy access point. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. That's not about do it for me unless someone has something pressing that they want to go over. But I've got to eat. Hopefully you all got a lot out of our guest host today. Got a lot got a much better, clear insight as to what these factoring companies can do and what they will do. Next week I'm going to try to have the other one on. They are a little bit more involved as far as what they offer. They offer a lot of stuff. Triumph does. Like I said, they do a lot more volume as far as the type of loans that they do. Triumph.
I have a quick question, Calvin.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's about Square. Question. So when I work with private clients with auto haul, let's say for instance I get a contract for $8,000, but I'm paying the carrier, let's say 7 out of it. would I pay the taxes on the 8,000 or the 7,000?
Hold up. Would you pay the taxes on what?
8,000 or $7,000? Because working with a private individual, let's say for instance,
I understand. So what's hitting your Square account?
I haven't set any taxes in my Square account.
No. I mean, how much money is hitting your Square account? How much money is coming into your Square account?
I would say let's say 7,400, and then for a fee.
Okay, but from that deal, that's what I'm trying to determine. From that deal, how much money is going into your Square account?
I think it was like 71 something after the Square fees.
All right, so 71 something goes into your Square account, and then you're paying the carrier what?
Paying the carrier, I'll get 18 out of that. So
so you're only retaining 1,800.
1,800, yes.
All right.
Correct.
How are you paying the carrier?
From my bank account, or send a check.
All right, now I see what's going on. All right, you're gonna initially be taxed on the whole amount because of the way you're doing it. Okay. But in your deductions, right? When you file and you do your itemized deductions, you got to go in and put in that was a contract. Pay X amount of money out for a contract.
Okay.
Get it? And you total up all your contractor payments, which is gonna leave you with your adjusted gross income.
Okay.
And then you're eventually gonna be taxed on just your adjusted gross income.
Gotcha.
Now there's another way you can do this procedure to kind of just stop you from having to do that. Okay. You could add the carriers into your Square account as contractors. Right? You can add them into your Square account as contractors. Right? But that's under what? Payroll. Okay? You can do your payroll in Square, and you can add them as contractors. When you add them as contractors, when the money comes in and you click pay contractors, right? And then Square keeps a track of all that. So when it comes tax time, Square does your 1099 and is only showing the amount of money that you actually get versus what you paid out. It's gonna show you, it's gonna show on your 1099 how much money you paid all your contractors. And that money's gonna automatically come out. It's already gonna have your adjusted gross income, your real adjusted gross income already there.
Okay.
You see, that's the difference. But when you do that, you go there and you put that on your payroll team, and you can give them all different types. You know, they're the contractor, employee / contractor.
Okay.
They will be listed as contractors.
Okay.
See how that works?
And so Calvin, the contractors, then you just need their bank information to put into that.
That's it. That's
okay.
it. Or you can just get their address and send them a Square check by email.
No, that's great.
So
Okay.
they can just click on it and bam, deposit the money into their account.
Right.
I mean, look, I love Square. I mean, people say the one thing.
I think I do too.
Square has a lot of great benefits and features, man. I mean, it makes running the business so easy. I mean, literally. I mean, you know, some companies may have a little bit better this, a little bit better that, but as a totality, I haven't found one yet that offers the sheer number of benefits collectively as Square. So that's why I stick with them. Because collectively, especially when you're running a business like this, you know, it obviously becomes the best option. Okay.
So Calvin, since you charge taxes on those, so basically, let's say for instance the 1,800, then I would just go in and just take that 15% or 11%.
Yeah. You would take your 15.3% because the average, if you're making, and that's what it is for those of us that's making a little bit over $100,000 there, okay? So when you get to the point which you are, I already know you are. So in our category, when you're over a certain amount of money, they're taking about 15.3%. Okay.
Okay.
If you're doing under 100,000, it comes up to be about 11%, whatever the case may be. And then if you're doing less than 50,000 or 40,000, it only comes out to be like a little bit less than 10%. But once you go over a certain amount, then when you get to the next level, you start hitting $500,000, you know, up to the million, was even higher. And then when you get up to $1 million, you're doing more than that. You're paying I mean, you are paying a lot of your money towards your what you call it. But you have a lot more deductions you can claim too, and a lot more things you qualify for, down to almost paying no taxes at all.
Okay, okay. I did have a friend on my Square account 2 days ago.
Yeah. All right, but there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try to make sure.
All right. Big D.
It's all resolved though.
Yeah. Hey, you know, get ready for it, man, because we about to open up a woo. You already know.
Yeah.
So but for the rest of y'all, it's coming, and it's something that's gonna help everybody within our network just explode. You talk about going to the next level. This is one of those next level type things that we're trying to do to take the whole network to a next level. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. That's for sure. All right, everybody. I gotta get out of here. I promised my wife I would we'll go out and venture out and get some stuff today. So we're going to pick up her dog, which is AJ's daddy. The other white blue nose pit. This is the big one. He's a little bit meaner. I would say that he's very good around people, especially children. But I mean, he won't attack a child no matter what. And he's kind of sweet on females, but he don't like men. He don't like male dogs. He don't like men at all. You know, so other than myself and my wife's dad and her brother, that dog does not like men. So he's a good yard dog. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. He's a dog where you don't want to come in the yard without having some type of permission or being escorted. If you are a grown man, he just, I don't know, he just developed this thing. He just does not like me. So it is what it is. So we're going to get him and try to get him acclimated to home life. We're supposed to go out and get him a muzzle. We're going to do this Pet Smart so we can buy him a muzzle. And because we don't want him to attack the other dogs. Also, till he gets back used to it. All right, everybody. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
As always, I hope y'all learned something today. We got a lot out of it. Some things that can help y'all make some more money. That's always our goal, is to help y'all become logistics entrepreneurs and to make as much money as possible from different streams. And hopefully we'll be able to add something to you all's repertoire and add something to you all's something that will help stabilize your financial health. As always, this has been Calvin with the RBBS Business Learning Center, and I look forward to seeing you all back here on Monday night. Someone will be doing the, I'd like y'all to send me some stuff if you're interested in doing a Monday night session. Deja likes doing them, so if y'all don't want to do it, I'm pretty sure she'll be happy to just fill in and collect that little bit. So, give me a call. Well, don't give me a call. Shoot me an email, shoot me an inbox, shoot me a message of some kind, letting me know that what you're interested in. Class one night and tell me what it's going to be about, and we'll get you set up. All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right, as always. Bye.